Awesome.
We are welcoming people live to St. John's Field. Guys, welcome to the MCL Photo pregame show, the 2018 WCAC semifinal. St. John's hosting Gonzaga. We made it, guys, from the basement all the way.
We're here, man.
To the postseason playoff game. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. We are loving.
There we are.
And here we are. Thank you guys so much for having us. Quick thank you to Griff. Quick thank you to the entire coaching staff of St. John's, the administration. Same on the Gonzaga side of the field. Two class act programs, class act organizations in schools, great student bodies. Thank you for joining us. If you're a fan of the WCAC, this is what it's all about. I want to welcome to this MCL Photo pregame show my main man, Tim Strachan.
That's right. Let's get this done, man. I'm so excited for all this, and I'm so excited for everybody joining us out there.
His name is Kevin Ricca.
If your blood's not pumping right now, you need to get your pulse checked. I mean, who's about to have more fun than we are tonight, bud?
That's right.
We are surrounded by people who love high school football and people who are hanging out here with us. We're on the landing, right in the middle of everything, getting ready to call this game. Let's go right to some pregame thoughts, guys. All right, so we've been watching these guys all year. It's been a joy to watch these programs play all year long. Let's start with the obvious. St. John's comes into this game undefeated. St. John's comes into this game undefeated. They're taking on a Gonzaga team that took some losses in this conference, but they played each other last week, and it's the playoffs, Kevin.
Yes, it is.
Records don't matter, do they?
No, I mean, you could talk about St. John's riding a 16-game win streak, 11 straight in the WCAC, but guess what? Everyone's record right now, Ken, is 0-0. And it's a win or go home. And this atmosphere right now is just looking like it's supposed to. Purple and scarlet all over the place.
This is football weather. It's got a little nip in the air. Some wind's kicking up. You know, this is what playoff football is all about right here, boys.
We got ourselves a windy but sunny day. Now, we know that last night DeMatha hosted Good Counsel in the other semifinal game for the WCAC first round. Real tough weather, which for all the WCAC football fans out there watching, please know it's always our intention to be at every possible place we can be. But watching some highlights from that game last night, the fact that we weren't there this year may have been a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
It was disguised pretty well as a monsoon.
Yeah.
DeMatha took it.
And when half of our crew has been on the mend these past few days, fellas, we had to suck it up last night and make sure we were good to go today.
That's right.
You know, game day is of the utmost importance.
But I think what we saw and heard about last night's game, you know, big players play big in big games. DeMarco Helms, Marshawn Lloyd. I mean, they had some huge plays, 80-yard touchdowns, 55-yard touchdowns, 60-yard touchdowns. And it
block
was
punt for a safety.
Block punt
guy
for
was
a safety.
all over the
It was
place.
an unbelievable display from some big players on the DeMatha side of the ball.
We want to remind everybody, First Amendment Sports, you're looking at the anchor team for First Amendment Sports Broadcasting. We got Carol Maloney going to be joining us on the sidelines today, talking to the many people, faces, celebrities even, that are associated with not just these programs but this conference. We'll remind everybody that we are here for football, basketball, lacrosse. We did soccer and field hockey. We'll be talking about baseball, tennis. We're going to be doing it all. We are so happy to be here. If you're a DC sports fan, we talk about it all the time in the basement. There is nothing but positive energy surrounding being a DC sports fan at places like this. If you get sometimes jaded by the Wizards or the Redskins or the Nationals or the Caps, not that you would for the Capitals, do me a favor, come out to a WCAC game.
Yeah.
Come out and see people who not only just love their schools but love the sport, love the action, love the energy. This is the best. This is the best environment you could ask for.
Or click on firstamendmentsports.com and
That's
take
right.
it all in however which way you possibly can.
That's a good plug
But
right there, Ricca.
When it comes to the WCAC, we like to call it in the basement. We refer to it as the league.
The league.
And the league today is put in a bright spotlight, and from the looks of it, we're about to be tickled here for the next 33 hours.
We are sponsored in the pregame by MCL Photo. Check out MCL Photo. You can go right to his website. He's been on the sidelines for most WCAC events over the last God knows how many years.
He's everywhere. There's like 3 of them.
He goes, but he also goes to Montgomery County. You know,
he'll be on the sidelines.
Public school games. He goes to IAC games. He's everywhere. He's all over the place.
And he's
even in the basement.
And he's in the basement. I'm looking at him right now. He's down on the field. You are able to check out his photos from all of the events. You can purchase prints right from his website. Again, that's M Seal Photo. Matt the Real Deal Seal. We call him affectionately Pete Schweddy. And I believe his Twitter handle is at MSeal Photo.
You got it. And I'll tell you what, he's looking good today in that First Amendment Sports jacket.
Geared
got
up.
all new gear and everything, guys.
Thank you to the good folks at Under Armour for making amazingly fresh gear and making it available to put our logo on. We apologize in advance for associating our basement brand with the global conglomerate that is. Looking over at an Under Armour sign, everyone knows the Under Armour loves the WCAC, and we appreciate those guys immensely.
Kevin Plank was stitching material together in a basement.
That's right.
That's right. Prototype.
Not too far from where we're sitting right now.
We'll take that business model and we'll use that advice. We'll go forward with it.
The basement is the best way to start just about any great business venture. Let's quickly cover a couple big names from either side, and let's start with Gonzaga. We saw Gonzaga up close and personal when they played McNamara. We've seen them up close and personal in last week's game. They got talent, and it starts. It doesn't end with, but it does start at quarterback. Caleb Williams, Kevin. We talk about it all the time. The guy throws a good ball.
Silky smooth. It comes off his hand. It looks like a professional level as a sophomore in high school. He is where it starts and ends. He is the stir that stirs the drink. He is the guy that, you got to defend so much more of the field against that arm than against a typical quarterback that you go against at the high school level. There's a lot more space out there to defend for him. And I'll tell you what, he throws it. It looks pretty. He's accurate. He's got feet. You'll see him retreat today with his shoulders square and with the arm strength, be able to fling it out there. It's a tad bit Aaron Rodgers-like. And,
even in this wind.
And it's hey, you'll notice it. You're about to see it.
But it can't be all on Caleb Williams. His team has got to step up around him. Guys like John Marshall, who had that drop right on the goal line last week, which would have been a pure touchdown. Guys like him, guys like Warfield, I think they're going to have to establish some run game here, get a little play action. It's going to be interesting to see what else they can do that we haven't seen from this Gonzaga offense that's so multiple.
Well, they had a ton of success last week in a double tight package tee. They came out, they max protected the quarterback, had a lot of two-man routes. I think we'll see a ton of that because you want to see Caleb upright. In the championship game last year, we saw him, and he got knocked around a little bit. And in the second half, they kind of wore out that Gonzaga offensive line. So keeping him upright, keeping the hits off of him all day long, that's of the utmost importance.
We got also some men in purple who are going to line up on defense who have been showing quite a bit all season. I talk about Hunter Stewart on the outside, who has had a pretty halfway decent season. If you're talking about guys who can basically jump off the film, basically jump off the tape. I mean, there's a couple other guys though, Kevin, that you got to always keep your eye on if you're Sol-J.
Yeah, Hunter played a little outside linebacker all season long. I noticed last week he played a lot of snaps with his hand on the ground, trying to get more of a pass rush out of that spot. He's a fantastic athlete. He happens to be best friends with St. John's own Tremont Morris Brash. They've grown up together. They are as close gets. Two rival defensive ends. Kind of reminds me a little bit about the guy to my right here.
Well, back in the day when we used to play against each other a little bit on these fields.
Hey, we played in the championship game 27 years ago, and I like to hear how they had at it this week on whether it be Instagram or via text.
Sure.
And what they were dealing with. But Hunter Stewart is a good guy, a great player, heading to the University of Virginia, and 6'4", 220. He looks it and he acts it.
Well, the kid I'm looking forward to seeing again is this Joshua Williams, sophomore, number 57, right in the middle of this Gonzaga defense, who can wreak havoc in there. He's such a physical player, and I think Sol-J is going to be seeing that 57 coming after him all day today.
Yeah, and T, last week we can't forget about Sean Johns. Johns in that third quarter. In that third quarter when Gonzaga turned it up and St. John's sat back a little bit. Sean Johns was all over the place making plays. He was in the backfield a majority of the third quarter, and he had to play when he stripped Sol-J rolling out left to cause the turnover.
That's
Number 9 heading to JMU. Let's keep an eye on him today.
He's a fantastic player for Gonzaga for sure.
Currently out in the middle of the field, number 9 that is, for Gonzaga as the captains making their heads calls, the tails calls, tails never fails. There's also a number 9 I hear for St. John's, Kevin Ricca. Is that true?
A number 9.
A number 9? Is that him out there? We had Rakim, we had Traymon, I believe that's Soul J out there, and
they are going to ride the Soul train.
Yep.
For the rest of the next 3 hours here. Everyone's going to get on board. Everyone's going to be line dancing Don Cornelius style, Ken, because this is how the magic happens for the St. John's offense. They ask him to make a lot of reads, a lot of adjustments, sight adjustments on the ball, and it's going to be in his hands today. He's going to make some choices that determine what happens this afternoon.
Gonzaga is lined to the sidelines on their end, the opponent's side of the field. The St. John's players are getting ready to take their place on the sidelines. We're going to cut here in a second for the national anthem, but let's see a little hype.
Yeah, I can't stand still. I mean, this is
Catholics versus, we got Catholics versus transfers. This is like game day. I forgot you're not supposed to read all the signs. Kirk Herbstreit, I forgot my Kirk Herbstreit 101.
I got nothing on a t-shirt underneath this jacket. This jacket is staying on today.
There we go.
Look at this, get this crowd going, get this thing.
You know what, guys, I was saying, you play a team 2 weeks in a row or 2 straight times, it's almost like it's the 5th quarter we're about to see of an 8-quarter game. St. John's got the better of the first 4. Gonzaga showed something in the second half of the last game that they should want to replicate as St. John's takes the sidelines, comes out to a lot of excitement.
This past week I found it funny that I was speaking to a Gonzaga fan and alum, and also at a separate time a St. John's fan and alum. Both of them told me, guys told me that our offenses were being vanilla. They weren't really showing stuff. They didn't want to do anything special, and they're saving it for this week. It's going to be so interesting to see if there is much difference in the way that these two teams played last week compared to today. Because I think really what Coach Kiara Malloy had told us last Tuesday is you do what you do best. And you have to do what you do best in a game like this. You can't come out with things you've never done before or anything like that. Maybe a package or a player here too, but I really think we're going to see pretty much what we've seen also all year from this
If what we saw last week was vanilla, there's a big old banana split coming out
right.
right now.
That's
because
right.
hey,
all kinds.
we watched film, we saw that there's no chance.
And we'll pause for the anthem.
Please remain standing for our pregame prayer, followed by the playing of our national anthem. After the anthem concludes, please continue to stand as the colors exit the field. Let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God. Dear Lord, help me to play my very best during this game. Teach me to treat my fellow team members and coaches, referees and opponents with respect and dignity. Challenge me to always do what is best for my team and not necessarily for myself. Enlighten me to the powerful life lessons I will experience during this competition, win or lose. And I ask all of these things through Christ our Lord. Amen. St. John Baptist de La Salle. Live Jesus in our hearts.
again as the color guard leaves the field. There's a couple names we haven't said before this game that we should. We saw the captains hit the field. Number 5 for St. John's, Rakim Jarrett. Always got to know where he is. Number 33 also went to the center of the field before the game. Tremont. I always hyphenate it on the wrong side.
Tremont Morris-Brash.
Tremont Morris-Brash.
The guys call him Drop. He was not able to play last week against Gonzaga. He is back. You will see number 33 be very impactful in today's game. This guy is going to be lined up at the left defensive end. They move him around a tad bit. He has caused a ruckus all season long. My pick for WCAC Defensive Player of the Year. Hey, we'll notice how he affects the game, whether it be double team or he gets a one-on-one situation. That's a number to keep an eye on. And offensively for St. John's, like you mentioned, Rakim Jarrett, they got into a package last week when they went trips left and they had Rakim lined up to the solo side all by himself. Gonzaga answered with one-on-one coverage out there. They had the young Jalen McMurray on him, number 7. Right. That is something also to keep an eye on. I think that's something that the Cadets are looking forward to getting after this week.
Can't overlook Ron Cook, who's just done everything they've asked him to do, and he's done it while filling up a box sheet. He fills up all the stat lines, and I guess just before the ball kicks off, I want to say a special thank you to Coach Casamento and Coach Trivers, both of whom were guests on our show this year. A lot of respect for these programs as the ball is in the air and the game's underway.
Here we go, boys.
That's Malcolm Terry right there.
Gonzaga sees a seam. Out to the 25 where Gonzaga will take over. Gonzaga offense goes to work.
Dan Ingram right there on the return.
Hey, one thing I noticed early last week, guys, there was 2 unfounded, unsportsmanlike penalties called on either team. When I went back and looked at the tape, nothing happened either way. The referees decided that was going to be how they started to gain control of a game like this with the high emotion. Let's keep an eye out for that again this week. Similar guys on the crew.
Gonzaga's taking the line of scrimmage. It'll be 1st and 10. Caleb will touch the ball for the first time. Looks like they're ready to go. Picking up where they left off.
Exactly.
Inside handoff. And looks to be good enough for a first down from here, guys.
This is going to be a double tight situation we're going to see for a majority of the day.
Yeah, St. John's going to have to look back and see what happened, what Gonzaga did in the 3rd quarter, because that's what they're doing right now. One man out wide for Gonzaga right now. Another inside handoff. Nice little slide inside, 2 straight runs. Looks like you got maybe a gain of 4. It's going to be 2nd down. Gonzaga on about the almost the 40-yard line.
I think it's important to note right now that Olo Fashanu, the starting left tackle for Gonzaga, not in the game. He's in a boot. They moved Luke Pettibone out to left tackle, and they got some other guys reshuffled on that Gonzaga offensive line.
Caleb's going to hold it, and he's going to get met just past the 40-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down for Gonzaga.
They did not run the ball with Caleb last week at all. I expect them to run some inside zone with him today. That was proof positive of that fact, and he's got some wheels on the outside.
Would you call that a jet? Was that almost a jet sweep motion?
Yeah, they do a lot of that. They're very creative in the run game, guys. They use the perimeter very well with the receivers and the running backs. They use a lot of play action off of that and misdirection.
It is windy out here. If Caleb's going to put the ball in the air, he's going to have to use that arm that he's got. 3rd down. Looks like a long 3. Caleb's got it, and he is going to be met short of the first down.
Not make it.
Huge decision here, boys. Huge decision on the first drive.
With the weather the way it is,
well, I think on your own side of the field, this is a real gamble this early in the game to go for it on 4th down and give a short field to a very dynamic offense at St. John's. They're going to bring out the punt unit here.
Coach Trivers is going to go ahead and kick it. And
smart move. That's the right decision.
We might have our first chance here, guys, coming up in a second or 2 to go down to Carol Maloney and get a little bit of a flavor from field level.
Keep an eye on this. Punt coverage was a big deal last week, and the trickery could start. The trickery could start any time now.
St. John's expecting a sideline kick, and they're going to get one. There's a clear out. Gonzaga's going to down it inside the 20. Good job from Gonzaga special teams. St. John's got a long field. Let's go down to the sideline with Carol Maloney. Carol, how are we doing?
Can you hear me okay now?
There we go.
I'm a rookie. Okay,
there you are.
Told me you had to turn it on. No, I'm really excited to be here, but I'm freezing. And as you were coming to me, I was like trying to take off all the layers. You guys are warm up there in that shade.
Yes,
compared
we got
to here, so windy. But the emotion on the field's heating things up, and of course the emotion on in the stands. The Gonzaga guys behind me, the student section, they have been jumping and chanting for 30 straight minutes. I kid you not. There's so much energy there, and it's probably a lot to do with the sign they saw when they pulled in. Says, Go St. John's, beat Gonzaga. And then a separate sign that was hung right next to it said again. So it's kind of twisting the knife that they just beat, the Cadets just beat the Eagles last week. But this is a very historic rivalry. It pits a lot of marriages against each other, neighbors, and it's really interesting that the numbers all time are so close, 46, 45, and 5, advantage Eagles. So a win today by St. John's would make it a dead heat between Gonzaga and St. John's with a berth to the championship on the line.
Oh, well, thank you very much. We saved the rivalry stat for you. St. John's is taking the ball just short of the first down. It's going to be third down for the St. John's offense. Got someone to my left here who's very familiar with this rivalry. Kevin Ricka played in a few of these games. Tim Stryker played in many of these games as well, but the St. John's Gonzaga rivalry does go back quite a long way.
I had 3 brothers who went to St. John's, were a part of this rivalry. I know this rivalry extremely well, very personally.
Here comes Soljay on third down. He looks like he wants to throw the ball, and he does. And he gets it away. Now we got a completion for a first down.
Excellent job hanging in there, waiting on it, knowing he's going to take the hit and delivering the ball for first on 3rd and 5.
That's right. He bought some time a little bit, was able to step up in the pocket. Even though he got hit as he was delivering the ball, he finds a guy wide open in the middle of the field.
Sophomore Caleb Coombs. He was wide open, and let's remember, there was hands on Soljay when he threw that ball. You may have wanted to see him take off, which I think he will at some point, but that was a good-looking ball in a very hard wind.
Missed opportunity for Gonzaga defense.
There's the run. Quarterback's got some room, and he gets down. Looks like he's got enough for another St. John's first down.
It's going to be hard to hold this St. John's offense to many 3rd and medium or 3rd and longs, and that was a missed opportunity by Gonzaga there.
Well, they did something already on this drive Gonzaga wasn't able to do, which is to find a receiver downfield and move the ball through the air. Now they've gotten a first down on the ground. The St. John's offense inside the 50, 1st and 10. At some point in time, you know they're going to want to try something deep. There's the handoff, inside handoff.
Smothered.
Gonna get stuffed, gonna get met inside. There's your boy, T. And we got a turnover? We got a turnover. I did not see that ball pop out.
Emerged from the pile, number 20, Gonzaga.
Yeah. I did not see that ball pop out. We got our first turnover of the game, and mistakes are the worst thing that can happen in a game like this.
Kai Holmes, sophomore for Gonzaga, comes up with the ball from the scrum. It gives the biggest turn in events right now in this game to Gonzaga.
Hey, I don't know if I've ever seen Ron Cook lose a fumble in the last 2 seasons. He's going to have to squeeze it. This is a big deal today, protecting that rock.
He got met at the line of scrimmage by quite a few, almost not quite a team picture, Kevin, but there was a lot of guys there.
Half squad.
We got the wide run. Is that Ingram?
Yep.
And he looks like he's got a gain of 4, maybe 5 yards on first down. Still on their side of the 50. It's going to bring up 2nd down for Gonzaga.
And they did.
And we got a referee down.
Uh-oh.
Got a referee down. Why don't we take this opportunity, if we can, to see if Carol Maloney has anything for us regarding maybe the quarterback situation while we got this referee timeout. Go ahead, Carol.
Hey, guys. We've all been talking about Soljay Maeva. He's the quarterback for St. John's, who transferred here over the summer from Hawaii. He's from the northern tip of Oahu, the Big Island. It's actually the same area that produces the likes of Marcus Mariota, but he wanted to transfer here to give himself a better chance at some more big-time college football offers. He was already offered a scholarship from Jim Harbaugh in 8th grade. Coming from Hawaii, right, and coming here, and this is the coldest day of the year so far. I think at kickoff it was like 37 degrees. It is so windy, though. The wind chill is a factor. The toughest transition for him, I've been told by some of his sources, was actually wearing socks on a daily basis. So he's so used to walking around, and so I think at school they were trying to tell him you have to wear your socks. in class at school, and now I'm sure definitely he'll want to wear socks because of this weather.
Well, he's going to try to stay warm on the sidelines, and looks like this Gonzaga drive is going to be extended by a penalty. Penalty down on the 30-yard line. The referee who was down looks like he's back up and feeling all right. Gonzaga went to throw the ball. Caleb did that spin move, Kevin. You were talking about it, and he did get the ball in the air. It did float out of bounds. Looked a little uncatchable. But we're going to get a pass interference call on St. John's. It's going to move Gonzaga for the first time across midfield. It's going to be 1st and 10, just inside the 40-yard line. Gonzaga driving in the first quarter.
Yeah, I believe they were going after John Marshall on a fade pattern, and I believe it was Amon Greenwood on the outside that just held him up a little bit too much. He was going for a back shoulder, and as he tried to adjust, John Marshall got tangled up with Greenwood.
Well, they got him out in the pocket. They tried to roll him out a little bit and use his legs.
Warfield, he does get met, but he gets yards before he gets met. It's going to be 2nd down. Looks like a gain of 4 or 5.
Hey, someone must have gotten that referee's ear who was down for a second and told him this is a St. John's Gonzaga playoff game, sir. Because he's back up, he's out there, he's ready to go.
Warfield's going to get it again quickly. It was 2nd and short, and it looks like it's going to be 3rd and short. Gonzaga looking to.
They may try to measure this one.
They're going to call it 3rd and short.
No, they say 1st down.
No, you're right, T. You're right. They did give it to him. I thought for sure they were going to call it short.
It was that last-minute surge by somebody in the backfield that pushed him probably over the line.
It looked like it even caught Coach Trivers off guard.
Jumbo personnel heading in. We got Joshua Williams on the field, Loic Sangwa. This is what they want to go straight ahead.
He packs a punch for sure.
Gonzaga really trying to put points on the board first today. There's the handoff. So a guy who really had a good 3rd quarter last week against St. John's. And Kevin Ricketts says that name so well.
Loic Sangwa.
There it is.
He did have a great job. He is their short yardage guy. Now, he had a little mishap down the goal line last week when Quentin Johnson jumped in and stripped the ball from him. Quentin Johnson was all over the field last week, guys.
Quentin's on the way.
Keep an eye on number 11, the Michigan commit. He caught a long touchdown. He had 3 pass breakups and stripped Loic Sangwa. It was a huge turn of events in the red zone.
2nd and long for Gonzaga. Caleb Williams under center. Josh Williams offset to his right. 3 men in the backfield.
Go with his diamond formation again.
It's going to be a fake handoff, and he's going to be met by Traymon.
It was only a matter of time, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had the tackle struggled to guard the edge there, T.
Well, the way he came off that edge, it was like a rocket. And I think Caleb Williams, really, it was a play-action pass. He got too deep. If he had stepped up in the pocket, maybe Brass would have gone around him behind, and he would have had an opportunity to throw it. But he got so much depth. Brass was so fast that he got to him before he could even make any kind of an adjustment.
Hey, this is a guy that had 19.5 sacks last year in 11 games. This year in 8 games has 15 sacks. They say he's the all-time sack leader in St. John's history.
And he's looking for another one here on 3rd and long. Caleb Williams at shotgun. And looks like we're going to have an infraction by the St. John's defensive line, getting a little bit too anxious.
Yeah,
they know
out of the starting blocks.
That's what a senior quarterback does, though. That was a smart decision by Caleb Williams to try and draw him off sides and get a little bit more advantage to your side.
Reminds me about Terry McGann, a little about Terry McGann in his days in the Bethesda Flag Football League. Here's Caleb Williams in shotgun. Checking with the coaching staff on the Gonzaga sidelines. They still got a lot to go. 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14.
You got to help out on number 33. I don't care if you got a running back or a tight end chipping on him.
St. John's brings 4, and they are going to get hands on Caleb Williams, and it absolutely impacts the play, bringing up 4th down for Gonzaga. They have a decision to make.
Well, Trey Williams was able to get to Caleb Williams just as he decided to throw the ball. I think he had a crosser across coming from the right side, crossing across the middle. It was going to be open, but because Williams was able to get to Caleb as he's threw it, the ball was off mark.
Were they twisting on the outside there, Kevin?
It was a tough pocket. I did not see a twist. I saw some pressure up the middle, which didn't allow Caleb to step up. He had to sidestep it, and Trey Williams, there's a reason why Alabama and Clemson are all over this guy. He's a junior,
just look at him.
6'2", 310. He's a freak athlete. He is.
58 and 8 now switch sides. 3 down.
Looking for a little sprint out action here.
4th and long. Offense stays on the field. Caleb Williams takes a snap. He's got time. He's got to throw off, and it's a completion. It is close, guys. From this angle, it looks like they might have to measure it. I can't see from here, and I don't see them saying for sure it's a first.
Good job in protection right there.
They just called it a first down.
Protection. Good slide by Caleb Williams as well. Good pocket presence to know to step up and then scoot to his right a little bit, buy a little time for his receiver to get open.
First down, they've got a red zone possession here. Got the red zone channel going. St. John's trying to defend that end zone in the first quarter. 4 minutes to go. Caleb back in shotgun again. He must feel good after that first pass of the day. And he's tucking it and running inside. Looks like he got a couple. Maybe call it 2 or 3 yards. At what point is Gonzaga in field goal range in this weather? They got to be close at this point in time.
Well, no, they're definitely within range right now.
Yeah.
But there's a huge wind going from left to right as they're heading down to the end zone right now.
Yeah, the American flag is standing straight out to the right.
And you got senior Marco Kemp, the reigning WCAC first team all-league kicker. That's a guy you trust, and as a senior out there on a day like today, but you don't trust this wind. Look at that little paper bag right there. Can't decide which way to go.
Take the ball's on the 13-yard line. Caleb Williams in shotgun. One wide. He's going to tuck it and run again. He's going to be met close to the line of scrimmage. Another gain, not enough for a first from this angle. Does not look like it. Josh Williams staying on the field. He might Iron Man it today, boys.
That's certainly a wrinkle we hadn't seen last week, Kevin. That's about 3 or 4 called run plays for Caleb Williams today, right up the gut.
Yeah, that's certainly 3 or 4 more than we've seen last week, T, no doubt about it. And apparently they want to use that in the red zone. Hey, watch for him ducking in and then popping back out here. There's a
little Tebow style.
Little Tebow style with John Marshall out wide in a one-on-one situation. He's a guy they love to go to in the red zone.
Inside 3 minutes, Gonzaga lining up 3rd and short. Here's a snap. It's a handoff, and he is met early. It looks like he might have gotten it, guys.
Oh, yeah. It looks like the chain guys are itching to move.
We got a 1st and goal.
Fellas, this is the exact formula that Gonzaga would like. They are controlling the clock. They're keeping that St. John's offense on the sidelines.
2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. They started this game off with the ball. This is crazy.
We got
St. John's had an opportunity on offense. The turnover is where Gonzaga finds himself now, knocking on the door to get a score.
Another handoff to the big man. Ooh. He does not pass the 5. Looks like he's going to be just short of the 5-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and goal. And I think we got another referee down.
Tough day for the
referees are down, and I want to take this opportunity to say thank you and to promote our good friend Terry McGann, attorneys at law, McGann, Del Pino, and Hughes. First of all, friends of the show, WCAC fans as well.
And alum.
Injury attorney. If anything goes wrong, when you need a guy, Terry McGann is your guy, and he's been a lot of people's guy. He's been doing a good job in the Montgomery County and DC area for quite some time. McGann, Del Pino, and Hughes, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We look forward to growing our partnership together. Gonzaga 2nd and goal with the 5-yard line.
Here they go again. Quarterback keeper right up the middle. Really not going anywhere.
This was the situation last week. St. John's in the red zone on defense. They bended, but they did not break, and they forced a bunch of field goals. I think Gonzaga already showed us that they're in 4-down territory anytime they're inside the 30. I think they're going for touchdowns today. They know they need to put a ton of points on the board. They're not ready to settle.
That was Greg Hudgens right there in the middle, stopping Caleb Williams. And Kevin, they may be listening to you. There could be a jump pass coming here in a little bit.
I was going to say the clock stopped there, and I wasn't sure why. It's running again. 3rd and goal.
Hey, big Greg Hudgens, an outstanding kid, one of the best GPAs on the team. He's got Michigan, Tennessee, and the Maryland Terrapins on his list. 6'4", 230-pound, chiseled. This is the guy.
Guys, I think they're going to want to throw this ball in. I mean, I know you got Warfield inside the 5.
Pass for sure right here.
I think Caleb's going to try to throw this ball. Let's see. 3rd and short. Empty backfield. He's going to tuck it, and he's going to run. And I don't believe he's got it. He's at the 2-yard line. We got 4th and goal. And I don't see a lot of activity on that Gonzaga sideline, guys.
I don't know.
Personnel-wise.
I think you've gotten down this far. You got 45 seconds left in the first quarter. You give a little bit of confidence to your team. This is a huge decision. If you go for it, you make it. it's a huge confidence booster for this Gonzaga team. If you don't,
they are going for it.
It's going to be an equally huge booster for the St. John's team if they can stop them on this 4th down.
I mean, do you see what St. John's shows you and call a timeout and change your mind? I mean, I don't think that's what Coach Trivers is about, but we'll see.
If I'm Coach Kaz, I'm hoping they do go for it. Leave some points on the board if they can get a stop.
It's like Gonzaga's going to stab it 4th and short. Caleb, now they're going to do a check, and there's the timeout.
There comes the timeout. There you go.
There you go.
Gonzaga that takes the timeout themselves. Trivers wanted to see what St. John's was going to line up in and see what it looked like.
I mean,
Smart
that is a
decision by a veteran coach right there.
You know, you got to have a play.
Let's go down.
Play.
Let's go down to Carol Maloney while we got this timeout. Let's put her on. There we go.
Hey guys, yeah, I just wanted to chime in a little bit about Caleb Williams because the guy has, at last count, 13 scholarship offers. A lot of big-time programs: Alabama, Michigan, Penn State, Florida State. He's had a private quarterback trainer since he was 10 years old. He says he doesn't take days off, that this is his full-time job, it's what he wants, and he kind of leads by example here. He's a sophomore quarterback, 6'1", 205 pounds, 16 years old, really talented, a bright future ahead of him for sure as this very talent-laden Gonzaga Eagles squad, but he sets an example of what you have to do to be a quarterback in the WCAC, and that is you got to treat it like it's a job and have to want it just as much.
Thank you, Carol. Truer words have not been said. I'm standing in between two men who embodied that in their days on the WCA field. Gonzaga is WCAC field. Gonzaga is going to take that field goal here, guys. Fourth and goal. Yeah, that kicker does come out onto the field.
It's hard to leave any points on the board, off on the field. I'm saying, if you don't go for it, and you might kick yourself later if you didn't try this and at least put some points on the board this early in the game.
We got a flag.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Are they trying to? Oh, we got a false start. Okay. I was even thinking maybe they wanted an extra 5 yards for room. I saw the pregame warm-ups that the kicker was certainly able to get it in from behind the 20, and sometimes in these the high school hashes you might want a little space. Give him a little more credit, maybe. But
hey, well, listen, this is Marco Kemp. He's a Blessed Sacrament Bulldog alum.
Yeah.
And this is a guy you trust here. You trust him to put 3 on.
12 seconds to go in the first. Gonzaga with the attempt. It's up. We got ourselves 3 points. Gonzaga draws first, 3-0. Eagles over the Cadets. We got 8 seconds. We will get a kickoff in. We'll take a break between quarters with let's see, with basically with all we got. Gonzaga's feeling pretty darn good about themselves, and let's not forget this is a result of a mistake that St. John's made, an uncharacteristic mistake by an upperclassman, ball carrier Kev. Not something he does often. Probably someone's going to be looking to make it up in this game.
I think it's been done never. Ball security obviously has had a premium today. I don't see that happening again with Ron Cook, but you know what? Crazy stuff happens this time of year. This is the playoffs. We know which way it bounces, any which. But I looked at they're going to get it right back to Ron Cook, get him right back on that horse, and get that running game going, and that's when they start clicking.
Well, really, that was a win-win for both teams, right? Gonzaga gets the turnover, you get a short field, they eat up a whole bunch of time on the clock, they get it all the way down to the goal line. And then for St. John's, they keep them out of the end zone and only allow 3 instead of a huge turn of events with that turnover. Could have been a big turnover if they
7 points.
were able to get a touchdown out of it.
Feels pretty good, right? If they could have got that 7.
Better than 7 for sure.
St. John's does have to breathe a sigh of relief. I've watched these guys play plenty. They're thinking they can certainly answer. Right, Kevin?
Hey, and also, they can, and they want to answer right here if this ball doesn't go out of the end zone. Mordecai McDaniel and Ron Cook both have 97 and 99-yard kickoff returns this season. So you have to get the opportunity. Yep.
No, and at number 20 is a treat to watch him run. If you're close enough to the field, we talked about it in the basement, he gallops. You can hear those feet hit the ground.
He's a track man, fastest man in the WCAC. Mordecai McDaniel is a flash. He's a blur.
There he is coming off the field. We'll get used to watching him on defense. As we exit or get through the fourth quarter, once again, I want to say special thank you to Terry McGann and McGann, Del Pino, and Hughes. Attorneys at law, helping out people out of the WCAC for a long time. You know, a lot of people say something bad's got to happen before you need a lawyer. But that's not true. It could be true. but it's always good to know competent, professional attorneys at law. McGann, Delpino, and Hughes. Give them a call. St. John's is going to get a play in before the quarter ends, and it's going to be a wide handoff. And he's got some room. He's up at the sidelines. That's going to be a first down. St. John's is going to start the second quarter.
No, there'll be one more play. It goes out of bounds. 2 seconds left in the first quarter.
There you go, T. You're right about that. We're going to get another play here in this quarter.
Cam Ross must have been upset about the fact that we said Mordecai was the fastest guy in the WCAC because Cam Ross is right there with them, fellas. Right. He can fly.
Huge touchdown last week, late in the game against Gonzaga last week for him, Kevin. Yeah, you got to call that firsthand with Tony Lamarzi.
Yeah, I did. The senior leader, that was his 10th on the season. 2 guys with double-digit touchdown receptions is crazy at this level.
We got another wide run. Rakim Jarrett with the ball in his hand as the first quarter comes to an end. Gonzaga does make a play. Looks like pretty much no gain. We'll call it second and a long 9, maybe even a legit 10. As we go from the first quarter to the second quarter, let's take it back down to the field. We are joined by Carol Maloney once again with a special guest.
Yeah, hey guys. I'm here with Rosemary Peters. This is Soul J, his mother. Hello there.
Hi.
We were just talking about how cold it is coming from Hawaii. Have you ever experienced anything like this before?
A little. We used to live in Utah and Vegas. So.
I didn't even know it was her. I went up to the stands. She had only like this much of her face. She had her hood on. Hey, can you take us through, just I know it's in the middle of a game and the emotions are high, can you just take us through the decision to move your family here and help follow your son's quarterback career?
He made it on his own back in January when he came out to take a visit to the school, and then we came back in March, and he told me pretty much on the plane ride, Mom, you're gonna fall in love with it, and I did. And then he came out here in June, the beginning of June, and the plan was for him to live with my cousin-in-law, and then we decided in mid-July that we were gonna come as a family and support him. So.
That's pretty cool. What do you think of the traffic in DC?
It's pretty crazy.
It takes an hour to get anywhere, right? Not where you're from.
When we're in Hawaii, it's not as crazy as here, but we have had to adjust to a lot of the living styles here, but we made it work. So
what's it like for you as a mother to be, especially a game like this with the championship berth on the line, to sit in the stands and watch it when you've sacrificed so much?
It's emotional. It has its moments. It has a lot of teary-eyed moments and a lot of ups and downs, but I'm proud of him overall. And he plays for not only for us as a family, but for our entire family and my parents and my in-laws back home. And it's been a real blessing for us overall. We know that Heavenly Father has blessed him with this opportunity, and we're blessed as a family.
I've heard from so many people that he's just he's such a kind-hearted person, that he's kind to all the different grades and boys and girls that he goes to school with, and he really is. It's been a special addition to St. John's community.
I would say it's vice versa. He's been blessed with this opportunity, so he just wants to give back and do it. Be the best example he can be, especially being in the limelight that he's in. So.
We've heard a little bit from some people that he hates wearing socks.
Yeah, true? He does. It's been his way back home. He's been like that as a child. He cuts his socks. He does all kinds of things. He uses mismatched socks. So when he uses it, I'm glad he does. But other than that, it's baby powder all the time in his shoes.
Once he gets through a DC winter, he's going to love those socks, man.
I hope so.
All right, back to you guys. Thank you, Rosemary.
Thank you.
Oh, that was awesome. From the mother to the son on the field. What's that?
At least he uses baby powder in his shoes if he doesn't wear socks.
St. John's is driving. First and 10. There's the handoff. Finds some room around the side. It looks like Ron Cook with a firm grasp on the ball.
Yo, he's got such great vision.
Yep.
Ron Cook has great vision.
We got a man down.
Inside that line, he can get through the first level, but if it's not there, he's able to shift over a little bit, find that hole, and get a little bit more out of each carry that he gets.
St. John's with what looks like an offensive lineman is down.
That's Elijah Williams, the senior. Looks like he's holding his shoulder.
Yeah.
This is the one thing that we hate. We talk about all the time. Any injuries at this time of year, especially to a senior, it makes us all feel sick. Let's say a little prayer that he's going to be all right.
Speaking of, we had some inactives today, Kevin, on both sides.
Yeah, on the St. John side, number 99, Braden Babs, recently committed to Vanderbilt, has been out of school the past 2 days and was not able to go today. Keelan Robinson, you know, we've all missed him all season here at St. John's.
Alabama commit.
Alabama kid, senior year, has a knee injury. In fact, he's waiting. They can't figure out what it is. And when he goes down to Alabama for his actual visit after he's committed, he's going to meet with Dr. James Andrews to take a peek at the knee. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. And on Gonzaga's side, they had one major inactive. The tight end.
Yes, T mentioned Olu Fashanu is out today. And hey, when they went double tight last week, their tight end that they brought in was number 81, a junior named Connor Fagan. I also saw him inactive on the sidelines today. So we'll keep an eye on that, who that double tight end is. But those are the inactives that we've got for the rest of the day.
Second in a chunk, call it 7 yards. Soldier in shotgun, and we got a flag on the field from deep in the secondary already, and I don't know. I'm trying to understand. It looks like maybe he might be on the sidelines. We got some communication between the referee and the
sideline warning.
Sideline warning. Okay.
On the Eagles.
Lock it up.
Gonzaga's got a busy sideline. We've seen this during the season, and and they'll get it under control. Soldier with the throw. You know, it was a quick throw. You can see.
Well, it was an RPO for sure. He looked for a read right there at first, and then he saw that Rakeem Jarrett had the numbers out there with 2 guys in front. He just threw the ball down at his feet.
RPO couldn't find laces. You know, you saw him fumble around with it. He couldn't get him on there and try to get out there a little too quick. He's very good at this, but you know, you got to get that. You got to get those laces right or get.
And he was throwing right into the wind. Third and 7. Soldier in shotgun with the snap. It's going to be another bouncer.
Exactly the same. I mean, it was like watching a replay. We actually have replay today, but that was not a replay. That was the second time in a row that Soldier couldn't get his hand grip on that ball and deliver a nice pass to Rakim for a wide receiver screen.
Yeah, he's going to want both of those back.
Oh, absolutely.
That was not typical Soldier. Hey, you got to pin them deep here, and you got to have your defense step up and make them drive the length of the field. But you know, Gonzaga's not going to be worried about that. They're going to try and play some ball possession.
That's right. They're going to want to get some first downs here. Gonzaga looks like they're going to want to try to block this kick.
They're all up on the line, aren't they?
Here comes the snap. It's clean. And it looks good. You can see that wind play with the ball. It's going to get right there, and he spins out. Looks like Ingram spins out, and he's going to get positive. This is what we've seen him do all year. That ball could easily have been pinned inside the 10-yard line if he lets it go. Instead, he spins out of a would-be tackler, and they get to the 25-yard line for 1st and 10. Caleb Williams once again with the chance to helm a Gonzaga drive and keep that scarlet and gray offense off the field.
Listen, here comes the max protect, guys. You know, they're going to run it again. T, I feel it. I feel this is the drive. They're going to want to take a chance after a first down or two.
A huddle. We don't see a huddle too often. They're going to start this drive off with a huddle. Here comes Caleb in shotgun. Gonzaga fans are fired up. Caleb's going to tuck it and run inside. I tell you, that is a dangerous place to be. There's some big boys in the middle there, and he just seems to be hunting and pecking. He got himself 2 yards there.
I really like that play, man.
They love it. I mean, and you know what? He's got space until all of a sudden he doesn't.
Right.
Well, in the zone read, you know, a couple times I think he's made the decision, look, I'm feeling pretty good about running the ball these few times. I'm going to keep it myself, see what I can get.
It looked like number 76 might have gotten his pads on somebody there.
Oh, Patrick Matton.
Yeah, on the right side, right tackle. Caleb back to pass, and there's a spiral again, and he's got a player, a receiver, and that is oh, that's a good-looking catch. It's a good-looking throw.
He's got such good, sure hands, John Marshall does. Great protection. Caleb throws a perfect ball where only John Marshall can get it and nobody else, and he makes a very good kind of diving catch to stay in bounds and keep
that back shoulder.
Keep this series going for Gonzaga.
Nice-looking catch there with the foot down. I'll tell you what, we talked about the ball coming out of his hands. He's not afraid to put the ball in the air, and this wind is blowing, and that was a good-looking pass. He's going to tuck it and run again on first down.
John Marshall, the basketball player, the power forward down at Gonzaga, went up and snagged that. He's got strong hands. We talked about the drop last week, but how about that touchdown catch he made in the end zone?
Yes.
In double coverage, that ball was put where it had to be, and he went up and came down with it.
St. John's on their heels with 8 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. Down 3-0. Marshall out wide. Looks like is that Sweeney up on top.
This is where they like to take a shot. We talked about being inside the 45-yard line. They got over 10 touchdowns from this place. They're running this kid. Hey, they're going to say he's in good enough physical condition to take some hits today.
We're going to call it 3rd and 5. As Gonzaga checks with the coaching staff. St. John's looking to stand tough on this. I mean, you let this drive go any further, you start, starting to risk getting some points. This is where you want that defensive line to maybe exert itself. I'm looking right now at number 33. This time he's going to be lined up on the left. Guy we saw already on this drive, Patrick Madden. He's going to have his hands full. Hopefully he gets a little bit of help.
Watch Warfield through the line of scrimmage on a little pick play to the left. They love it.
There goes Caleb. You know what? He got more yards than I actually thought he was going to get there. It's going to be short of the first down by about 2 yards. You've got to believe Gonzaga's going to go for this. They've gone for everything else, and you're inside. You're inside the 30, right about the 36-yard line. So 4th and short. Gonzaga likes their chances here, and they're lining up to go for it. Caleb in shotgun.
He's going to call his number again.
He was looking for a false start there. He's not going to get it. You got to look for him to run this ball, right, T?
Absolutely.
A little bit of check with me.
This might be another timeout situation. I think we're going to see another Gonzaga timeout. There you go. Yep. And you know what? He got it once. He wasn't going to get it this time. I would expect to see probably a special teams unit come out here, Kevin.
Great discipline, first of all, by the St. John's defense, not jumping off sides again and learning from their lessons before. But at the same time, I think St. John's defense is doing a great job on this read option that Gonzaga's employed this week. And the fact that I would rather have, if I were St. John's, Caleb Williams running the ball than a guy like an athlete like Sweeney or Warfield or somebody else. If I were St. John's, I kind of like this new wrinkle that Gonzaga's doing. I'd rather have Caleb Williams running against me than anybody else.
And here is the chess match. They're maintaining possession. The clock is running in that, and they're getting their 3 yards, and they're continuously doing that. Listen, Randy Trivers and Joe Casamento have over 300 combined high school victories between them. These guys are no dummies out here. This is a Gonzaga. Randy Trivers, he does not want St. John's to have a play to gain momentum. I think that's why we saw the field goal kicked. I'm a tad bit surprised they're going to go for it right here. And
it's a long yard.
They must have something they believe in here.
Josh Williams is in the game. The number 4, the big boy, is to Caleb's left. Caleb's in shotgun. I do expect him to tuck and run this. St. John's is all over the line of scrimmage, and this is the tuck, and he is close, guys.
He's real close.
On the spot. Right on me. It's going to depend on the spot, and I bet if I were a betting man, it's going to be a first down. Yes, it is.
They're going to just give him the call.
I cannot believe how much they are running this quarterback today.
I thought the spot was on the other side of the 35. I was wrong. It's going to be 1st and 10, just on the outside of the 35.
They seem pretty confident they didn't have to bring out the sticks there.
I
thought it was a little closer than that.
I did too.
I'm right on the line, and
we're staring right at it.
I still wasn't sure.
Josh Williams still in the game, almost in a victory formation situation there. And it's going to be an inside handoff to the big man, and they're going to get maybe a yard.
That's actually called a diamond formation.
Diamond,
You see it mostly when the quarterback is in shotgun, 2 guys split to either side, and a guy in a pistol formation. That's the diamond. But
kind of offset
this is
there.
A compact diamond.
Packed diamond. I like it. Josh Williams does finally get a breather. Man, I can't wait to see how many snaps he plays before the end of this game.
Well, he hasn't had to play much D.
That's true. He's been saved there. We got 2nd and long. Gonzaga inside the 35-yard line.
And this is the formula to a T here. This
That's
is
right.
exactly how it's going right now. Is exactly the narrative that Gonzaga would have hoped for heading in.
And you see the referee waves his hand to start the clock. Caleb Williams in no hurry to get this ball snapped. Here comes the motion for Sweeney, and he is going to put that ball in the air. In the NFL, you might call that intentional grounding. I don't think they have that in high school, Kevin.
No, they have intentional grounding. They do.
And you know what? We got a flag in the secondary, which I did not see initially. We're going to.
let's listen to these guys figuring out what the situation is. Do they have a
Do we have a technical difficulty there? Okay. We apologize for that. Oh, you know what? We might have had a replay, some replays from somewhere, but we are back online. Courtesy of.
That's what happens when you go live.
We're not getting this game.
It's going to be 3rd and long for Gonzaga. Big down for Caleb Williams and his crew here. They're going to go with a jet sweep. Malcolm Terry. I'm sorry, that was Aaron Turner. Couldn't turn the corner. St. John's gets a stop.
Man, people are saying that they're seeing a different game online. We got 4th and long here as Gonzaga is lining up with their offense tee. Caleb Williams staying on the field. I'll be interested to see what they got planned here. This is an interesting decision. Caleb Williams is going to call that timeout, and we are going to assess our situation here at St. John's. We got Kevin Ricka managing. I want to say a special shout out to Ricky Hahn and his family. We see them lining up here to our right. Thank you so much to the entire Ricka family. And I want to also take this opportunity to say thank you to Nick DeSarno and Sean Keegan from Rock Spring Contracting.
I want to give them a double thanks, Kev.
Give them a double thanks.
Ken, because we're clearing out our basement. We're doing some work at our house. You know, we got a baby coming in February. We're really excited about that, but it's a lot of work. We were able to empty some things out. Nick DeSarno and Sean Keegan sent over a truck, did a great job of helping us clear out some things. And, really appreciate it, guys. You were on time. It was perfect. It was easy to do, easy to set up. Really appreciate the help.
Their business that they're promoting at this point in time is they are. If you live in this area, you know people do renovate their homes. You see dumpsters in driveways and people getting after it on the regular in this part of the world. For those needs, reach out to Rock Spring Contracting. Nick DeSarno and Sean Keegan will be right there to help you guys out. Fourth and long. Caleb Williams in shotgun. He's going back to pass. He's got a little dump off. We got to have a tackle or they're not going to get him.
Huge play.
We got a big gainer for Gonzaga on the outside. First down.
They use the aggressiveness of St. John's defense and their pass rushers to get upfield, and then they just do a little crossing pattern with Aaron Turner underneath, and then he does a great job of using his speed to get away and pick up a huge first down on a 4th and extremely long.
1st and 10. Gonzaga just outside the red zone.
Gonzaga coming out with a few wrinkles today that we have not seen before and making.
Caleb Williams tucks and runs, and he is dragging a couple guys.
I'd say that's his biggest run of the day.
Caleb's biggest run of the day. It's going to be 2nd and short. There's Josh Williams back in the game. St. John's remains on their heels. St. John's trailing 3-0, 4.5 minutes to go in the first half here at St. John's College High School. Here comes the snap. He's under center. Caleb Williams takes it. He's going to hand it off inside, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. But it looks like we got a first down. In fact, I think we got a 1st and goal, T. 1st and goal inside the 10 for Gonzaga, and we got some meat coming out for St. John's. 5-4, 7-7.
It'd be interesting if we could get a hold of some official stats. I'd like to know what the time of possession would be right now between Gonzaga and St. John's. It's got to be overwhelmingly in favor of Gonzaga, having had the ball nearly the entire first quarter except for one series by St. John's, and the majority of this second quarter has been Gonzaga as well, just methodically moving the ball down the field and eating up a lot of time and keeping that ball out of the hands of Sol J. Maeve on the St. John's offense.
First and goal. Sweeney in motion. Caleb Williams moving to his right. He's got a pass. He finds his man on the sideline. Sweeney with a gainer. It's going to be second and goal at the 5-yard line for the Gonzaga Purple Eagles.
Love the way that Driver's just, he's not trying to make up huge gains and taking huge shots down the field.
That's right.
He's content with 5 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, whether it's a run or a pass.
I can't push, he didn't do the chin. Oh, come on.
Second and goal, Caleb in shotgun. Here comes the snap, and he is going to hand it off. And the handoff is going to net maybe a yard. We got third and goal from about the 4-yard line here. Once again,
this defense has got to be getting tired. I mean, it's cold. You're out there for a long time. You're winded. You haven't been able to have a chance to really collect yourself. And Gonzaga just keeps pushing that line of scrimmage right now, kind of controlling it at this stage of the game. St. John's defense just probably been on the field way too long. Got hands on their hips, but they got their back to the goal line and trying to stop Gonzaga from putting a touchdown in here on third and goal.
Caleb's going to keep it, and he saw a window for a second, and I saw what he saw, and we got a strip. St. John's is taking the ball right out of Caleb's hands. It looks like they're not going to catch him. St. John's with a big play on
Johnson
defense.
again.
Quentin Johnson
again.
Whose ball is it, Kevin?
It's Q's ball, Ken, and Q did that against Marietta to save the unbeaten season earlier on this year at that exact same spot.
He stripped the ball last week against Gonzaga inside the 5-yard line well.
He's a playmaker. Harbaugh is getting a great one.
Back in the days at McNamara, we used to say Quentin's on the way, courtesy of Farside.
Biggest play of the game by Quentin Johnson.
We now have
like a deja vu from last week.
Tia, now we got 2 turnovers.
Here it is right here. Look, he's trying to get some gain some ground and fight hard.
Oh man, what a play by 11. Hey,
right out. The ball doesn't even touch the ground.
As Quentin comes back to the bench, he's looking for that belt. He's looking for that turnover chain. We apologize if we had any technical difficulties there on that drive earlier. The kick is up, and it is no good. It is 6-3. St. John's takes the lead on a big defensive play by Quentin Johnson. Let's go down to the field if we can for a second. Carol Maloney, that was huge.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah, it was pretty intense down here because I'm on the St. John sideline, and as everybody was moving over to this end, and you just knew this goal line stand, the St. John's, they're kind of pushing up against it, and then as soon as the momentum switched and people started sprinting down with the cadets to the other end zone, and the place erupted. But as that was going on right here on this side of the field, over in the stands behind me is the Gonzaga folks. Can you take a look and see? They were jumping for joy as they were threatening here in the red zone, and then all of a sudden they went silent. You can see they're trying to bring the energy right now, the student section, the Gonzaga Eagles, but my goodness, did they get quiet there for a second.
Carol, we got 2 mistakes in this game so far. Cost St. John's 3 points. It cost Gonzaga 6 points. 2 minutes and 48 seconds left to go in the first half, and I tell you what, this game is as advertised.
But how demoralizing is that to this Gonzaga team? Once again, knocking on the door, only a couple yards away from that goal line, and Quentin Johnson once again rips it out of his hands. Has a huge, the biggest play of the game thus far. Huge momentum turn.
He just decides to score from all areas on both sides of the ball in this 2-game series. It'll be very interesting to see how Gonzaga decides to approach this drive.
Response is important. Response is so important right here.
St. John's will get the ball first in the third quarter. So with 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the first half, Gonzaga really needs to do something on this drive. They got to feel good about their ability to move the ball. They've yet to hit pay dirt over that goal line. And you know what, their drives, they're not working quickly. Caleb Williams is able to move the ball, and he's been able to throw in this wind. but their drives have been extended. 2 minutes and 42 seconds. This is going to be a little bit more rushed than they've wanted to be so far this game.
Absolutely, and with no timeouts left, with the Cadets having 3, I think we see a run here on first down. We'll see if the St. John's Cadets stop him and call a timeout.
Caleb's going to take the snap. He's going out. He's got a guy wide open on the outside, and he's going to stay in bounds, and he's going to get some running room, and he's taking this ball.
That's Malcolm Terry.
That is Terry.
That is Malcolm Terry, yes.
Hey,
good job
past
throwing
the
it
40.
out there. You got a couple blockers ahead of you, a lot of green. Use the sidelines to your advantage. Clock stops as you move the chains.
1st and 10.
Already set up for another play.
Coach Gillespie's not going to be happy with the tackling on that series.
There was a missed tackle there that probably cost him about 15 yards. Caleb in the backfield. This is going to be an inside handoff, and he's got some space. He's going to get to the 45-yard line. It's going to be about 2nd and 4. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the first half. Clock rolling. Gonzaga getting back to the line of scrimmage quickly.
They got to get set up pretty quick. They don't want too much time to go off.
That's efficient. They got back to the line quickly. Caleb back in shotgun. He's got Warfield on his right. Here comes Terry in motion out. There's that wheel. And he was looking at it, and he's going to tuck it and run.
He wanted to go deep. He wanted to go deep.
And Luke Hill, the number 7 cornerback in the senior class in the nation this year, got stuck in no man's land. He knew he had the wheel up the sidelines, but he's looking right ahead at the running back with no one near him, and he kind of co-played it. And I think if that ball went to one of the other guys, it was going to be a huge play.
They were setting it up. It was off of that last screen to Terry 2 plays ago. They did the same thing to this side of the field, and everybody thought that Terry was going to get the ball, but it was obvious he was looking downfield for a double move.
Trips right, Caleb shotgun, 3rd and 5. Minute 20 to go. St. John's didn't use the timeout. Tremont got that edge fast. He's down, and we got the balls in the air, and he's got a guy. Caleb Williams throws a pretty ball. He got about 5 yards too deep. Aaron Turner had a chance. He had a chance because he did get behind St. John's secondary.
Aaron
Caleb
Turner
Williams
was being chased by 3 red
Yes, he
shirts
was.
right there. He had gotten behind them. It was a really nice pass, just 2 or 3 yards too long for Aaron Turner to catch up to.
T, you've seen that throw before. You've taken the little solace in the ability to get a receiver deep and miss him. I mean, obviously you're going to want to have that play back,
so
but they're going to come back, right?
So frustrating, but now they know they can get it done.
There you go. Mordecai tried to get in the backfield for that block, and the Gonzaga gets a good bounce, but now it bounces into the end zone. It's 1 minute and 1 second to go in the first half. St. John's got the ball.
Yeah, Mordecai wanted that one badly. He's got 2 punt blocks, both for touchdowns this year, but then when he held up, it's a little, it's a little dicey. It's a little dicey. That would have been a real bad time for a roughing the punter.
Yeah, it would have been.
He's not just fast, he's quick, and he was in that backfield, and he almost got there. St. John's takes over at the 20. With a minute to go. St. John's has been able to score quickly, but one thing we haven't seen in the first half is Soljay be able to handle the wind or get the ball, or get the ball in the laces for a quick pass. It's been a little bit tougher.
I look to see them getting Soljay in rhythm, if nothing else, before halftime. Come out here, he's got to pitch it around a little bit with 3 timeouts left and a minute on the clock. You're looking for some points,
5.
and they feel like they can score from anywhere.
I think you're right, Kevin. Rhythm's probably a great word. We just haven't seen it. They have not found any kind of groove yet offensively, but partly because Gonzaga's had the ball the majority of this first half.
Rakim's short side of the field up top for us, out to Soljay's right, and I got to believe he is going to desperately try to get the ball in number 5's hands.
He's a game changer for sure.
Well, here's the formation we talked about.
The ball's in the air. He's got a receiver, and not able to hold on to the ball.
Cam Ross just had to go down low for it. He put it where only Cam Ross could get it.
Yes,
nobody
he
else,
did.
And it just bounced off. He let Cam Ross let it get into his body and bounce off.
He certainly threw that to the open space. It looks like it was behind, but I think that was where he needed it to be.
You're going with the
Soljay
3-by-1 again, Kev.
Back in shotgun again. Probably looking for another opportunity, and he's going to move around. He's scrambling. This is where he's been dangerous. He's getting to the outside, and now he's up to maybe about a 4 or 5 yard gain. Does get out of bounds. Clock stops. 47 seconds left. Once again, if you are just joining us from St. John's, we got a 6-3 ball game here. First half almost completed. St. John's 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Still with a lot of field left. I mean, Kevin, are you going to just try to run it and get out of here?
No, they're going to try and get the first down here, and you can tell what type of player Soul J. Maeva is when the whole crowd, purple and scarlet, were all holding their breath on that last little exchange. They're gonna try and get it here, man. They're gonna try and get points. St. John's is super aggressive. They've scored on the last minute of the half multiple times this season.
Here comes the snap, and there it is. Now Cam's got it, and he is going to make a play for it, and he is going to be short of the first down. Clock is running. Gonzaga can't stop the clock. We do have a fourth down. You probably see St. John's let the game clock roll, call a timeout with 1 second to go in the half.
Well, you really got to tip your hat to the way that this Gonzaga team has responded to last week's loss. Coming out here playing a really tough first half here.
I mean, everything is according to script. It's exactly, except for, you don't script up Quentin Johnson just taking the ball at the 4 and taking it to the house. Aside from that, everything has gone exactly the way the Purple Eagles have wanted it.
Well, I think they're going to say we're over here. I think they're going to say the play clock, by the time they set the ball, the play clock was underneath the game clock. We are going to half, guys. 6-3 in favor of St. John's. The story of the first half has been two mistakes. Two times when Caleb Williams wasn't able to keep his hands on a ball because Quentin Johnson thought it was his, and Ron Cook gave it up early in this game. Gonzaga capitalized with a field goal. We're going to go to halftime right now. Let's go down the field and see if Carol Maloney has any thoughts on the first half. Carol?
You guys got it right. I mean, the story of the half was just they were a few yards away from being up 9-0 or 10-0, and instead it was a switch to 6-3 in a matter of seconds. I've been searching the sidelines for celebrities. I think it's a little cold. I think everyone's huddled up in the stands, but I found this guy. I just wanted to say hey to this guy. I don't know if you recognize him, J.D. Ricca, brother of Kevin Ricca. What are your thoughts on the first half?
It's been an entertaining half. It's old school football here. A lot of wind down here, and it's tough from the quarterback's point of view. It's hard to get this ball through the wind. But, I think both sides are playing pretty well. It's going to be a dogfight here in the second half.
There is mistake-free football. That's what's going to treat the Eagles right. We'll see if they can do that in the second half. Thanks for your time, JD.
Oh, thanks, Carol.
Sounds just like Kevin.
I'm getting texts right now that are asking me, how does Kevin do it from the platform up and be on the sideline at the same time?
I was going to say, who is that handsome devil we're all looking at right there?
Who is that handsome devil?
The wind's affecting everything, including handsomeness, apparently. It must be helping him out. Thank you,
And
Carol.
my eyes.
We're going to go ahead and take a breather here at halftime. We'll be back at the start of the third quarter, live from St. John's. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, Kevin Ricca, Tim Strachan, I'm Ken Marangolo. She's Carol Maloney. We are loving this WCAC playoff game. Back to the second half, 2018 WCAC semifinal game hosted by St. John's College High School, taking on the Gonzaga Purple Eagles from I Street. Ken Marangolo, Kevin Rickett, Tim Strachan, Carol Maloney. For behalf of First Amendment Sports, we thank you for coming out with us today. A gorgeous day. DeMatha Good Counsel wish they had this weather last night. DeMatha does await the winner of this game. It was an exciting first half. It's a 6-3 game, guys, all on the strength of two huge plays, one slightly more huge than the other. Here's the first. Soljay made a great completion. That was pretty much his best passing play of the day. He did find the sophomore up. Here's Caleb Williams. Now he's going to make an awesome back shoulder throw. Marshall on the sidelines. They moved the ball, but they did not score on that drive. Here's backing away again. This was a huge fourth down play for Gonzaga on that drive in the second quarter.
St. John's has got to tackle better. That's a fact.
Here goes Caleb Williams. Right now, I want you guys to watch this. Caleb Williams, he's going to get up. Now, first, you might think his forward progress is busted up. There's a chance his knee might have touched the ground there. I don't see. I did watch it again. But Quentin Johnson, he was fighting for that ball. All the attention was on that ball. Quentin's on the way, 30, 40, 50. He's taking it all the way back. Now, we don't have a good angle on that, and I don't think that Caleb Williams' knee was down at all.
Yeah, nor do I think the whistle. No whistle was blown.
Absolutely. It was when I saw the replay at first, I was wondering about it. I think what we saw just now, we probably would say it was a good call. There was two referees standing right there, and good Lord, Quentin Johnson's hands on that ball. We've seen it all season long. It was a huge play in a huge game.
Ken, I'm going to tell you this. This is a senior that does not want to go down. He does not want to lose. Mid-season, St. John's has taken on Marietta. Marietta's driving to the same end zone with less than 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, up 14-0. The ball on St. John's 3-yard line. Quentin Johnson steps. He dekes the quarterback, steps in front of a pass, takes it back 70 yards. St. John's winds up scoring 3 plays later to make it 14-7 instead of being down 21-0. St. John's goes ahead to win 21-14, and that was the story of that day. This was eerily similar. You know, your backs are against the wall. You're about to be down 10-0 to your rivals in a playoff game, and Quentin Johnson just felt like making things different and taking things into his own hands by taking the ball out of Caleb's hands.
Yeah, I've been surprised by a couple things in this game. First of all, surprised by how Gonzaga's been able to come out, control the ball, control the game, milk that clock, keep it out of Soljay and that high-powered St. John's offensive hands.
Executing it to a T, this plan.
But then also the big-time plays played by big players, you know, and the biggest one by Quentin Johnson being the strip 6 to take a lead 6-3, but then they missed the extra point. That always comes back to hurt you later on in a game that's close like this. This is setting up to be a really huge, fun, and exciting second half, guys.
We have some people to thank. In the first half, we did give you McGann, Del Pino, and Hughes, attorneys at law. Our good friend Terry McGann, a very competent and professional attorney at law. Please, if you need it, he is the guy to go to. We all know it, and we've been telling our friends about him and his associates for years. Nick DeSarno and Sean Keegan at Rock Spring Contracting. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We especially love your love of high school sports in this area. If you need T, what did they help you out with this week?
Yeah, they came by my house, brought a truck, was able to take a whole bunch of stuff we needed to just take to the dump, you know, all old stuff, and cleared out a basement. They came on time, they brought a truck, they had some guys, and cleared it all out in about 10 minutes. It's awesome.
We got a couple more sponsors to bring to you in the second half. I do want to say I feel obligated because I love this guy, and I know everyone around here does too. If you went to high school in this area back in the early 90s, you might remember a band called Utris, lead singer Andrew Deeren, class of, or Pride, I should say, Pride of Gonzaga. I know he and his friends are watching us live today. We appreciate you guys. Wear that purple with pride, boys. It's going to be a big second half for Gonzaga. They will kick it off. St. John's will receive. Get the ball first in this second half. Up 6-3. The second half, all season long, has been St. John's half. We've watched it all year long. These guys play 4 quarters. Gonzaga didn't come alive till the second half last week. Now they find themselves way more in a game than they were at this point in time last week, Kevin.
Absolutely. It's a totally different story. Last week, St. John's didn't need to have the halftime adjustments that they've been tremendous at all season long, and they came out kind of sleepy. I'm telling you right now, if they come out sleepy, you're going to hear a lot coming from this sidelines, because there's no doubt about it. St. John's underperformed in that first half.
Yeah, it's a really important first drive for St. John's here to kind of, gain some momentum, some rhythm that they just have not been able to find yet in this game.
Yeah, and I meant underperformed offensively, because that defense obviously held strong in there.
A nice play by St. John's special teams. A big man got a squib kick, went down. St. John's takes over just on their side of the 30-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 with a fresh clock, fresh half.
Another smart decision by Trivers. Keep it out of the hands of the big playmakers for St. John's. Just squib kick it and be satisfied to start on the 30.
The wind has shifted since he kicked it out of the end zone the last time. It's now coming from left to right on your television screen or your
iPad,
your computer, iPad, iPhone.
Soljay's going to get a ball now. He's finally able to make a play out wide, met immediately by the Gonzaga secondary.
I believe that was Grant Parker, 26 for Gonzaga.
It was Grant.
Man, that was great closing speed.
Surefire tackle.
Make a decision to just secure that tackle.
Textbook. Whew. If you're Soljay, you got to. Now we got a wide run. Number 5, Rakim. Maybe a yard on that, guys. He looked like he was had some purpose there for a second, and once again.
Well, that was Dean Ingram coming in like a heat-seeking missile from his safety spot. Did a great job of going low and bringing Rakim down.
Dean Ingram's been a pleasure to watch the games that we've been able to see him. He plays a
player,
very sound.
He's a ball player.
Sound game. Yes, he is.
Yeah, Wisconsin's getting a good one, aren't they?
Oh, my goodness.
Number 6 in purple, guys. 3rd and long for St. John. Soljay in shotgun. He's got 4 wide receivers. The pass is away. He's got a man, and it looks like he caught him with the knee on the ground.
That's Quentin Johnson again.
Yep.
I think someone came today.
The defensive end.
I mean,
that did the strip 6.
Listen, he's the safety heading to Michigan. He had the big play last week to make it 13-0. I mean, what an outstanding performance by 11.
When the ball touches his hands, if you're a St. John's fan, it's a good thing.
Yes, sir.
Another 4 wide for Soljay in shotgun. 1st and 10. Checking in with the sidelines. Here comes the call from Coach Kaz. Ron Cook's going to switch. It's going to flank Soljay on his left. Rakim wants the ball. So easy to say Rakim. Inside handoff to Ron. He's going to get about 4 yards.
Gonzaga doing a good job against the run game.
Like 3, maybe.
Yeah, it's going to be 2nd and long, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7.
You're just sitting here waiting for that big play to happen. You're sitting here waiting offensively.
It's going to happen. There's no doubt.
Thanks again for joining us on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon from St. John's. First Amendment Sports proud to be partnered with the WCAC. Soljay looking over at the sidelines. 3 up top, 1 on the bottom. Here comes the snap. And we got probably what looks to be an infraction on the defense. It looks like they got to cross the line of scrimmage a little bit early. Going to give St. John's 5 yards.
Now you can't help out a team like this.
No, 5 yards is a big deal. It's still 2nd down. Now they got a very reasonable 1st down yardage. Are you guys taking a shot here?
I mean, anytime the ball's right here at midfield, 2nd and short, and you got an aggressive play caller, you automatically think it's time. It's time to take a look down the field.
Yeah, I got number 5, Kim lined up in.
Is what you're saying, Kevin?
He wants Quentin to come into him.
Out of this bunch formation.
No, he's gonna give it to Ron. Ron is he's gonna be close to the 1st down. I think they're gonna give him forward progress.
Looks like he got the 1st down.
Yep.
So we just keep on suggesting a shot's coming right in this neighborhood.
It is going to happen at some point.
I feel it too.
But no, that's a smart decision right there. Keep the chains moving. Now you're doing what Gonzaga did to you in the 1st half. You are going to control the clock. You're going to keep it out of their hands so that they can't be a threat at all, and methodically move this ball down the field.
And 13-3 is going to change a little bit of the the offensive dynamic for the Eagles. At that point, you're down double digits, and you got to, still maintain the game plan, but you're going to look to take a few more shots and open up to a few more 3rd and longs.
1st and 10, Soljay in shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers, and he's going to hold it. He almost had a chance to get the option, but they were blown up.
Nick Johns right there got through the gap. He was able to get to Soljay before he was able to pitch.
John Johns, big play. Josh Williams in the middle of the field now. Soljay back to pass. That ball's in the air. He did not get Ron Cook looking at him when that ball came out. He's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Ron Cook never saw that.
Yeah,
didn't
he? It looked like he didn't see it. He wasn't expecting it.
He wasn't expecting it
at
that point.
Probably the 4th option on the play, and it looked like uncharacteristically that Maeva was a little uncomfortable being in that pocket that long.
He had time.
Anybody in his face, and he rushed his throw a little bit.
Ball at midfield, 3rd and long. Soljay for the snap. Back to pass. It's a quick throw, and it's short. And it's going to be 4th and about 11.
Another strong showing by the Gonzaga defense.
Really, really good sound.
I'm really impressed with Jalen McMurray and Grant Parker right now, the corners as well as the safeties for Gonzaga, especially Dean Ingram. I think they're doing a great job against the high talent of wide receivers that St. John's has. Doing a good job of locking them down right now.
And a couple guys whispering to each other, you know, do you think about it? Do you think about it?
No, not at this point in the field.
I think Ingram's going to get a chance here. You might want to keep this ball away from him. He's starting to feel pretty good about his game at this point. Ball's in the air, and it is away from him. But he might be able to get it on the bounce. He is going to take it on the bounce. This is what he does. He's going to get upfield, and he's moving. He's got past the 30-yard line. I'm going to give him about the 31. We've seen him do this consistently. He does not allow
He's a confident player.
His offense to get pinned.
He's an absolute confident player. He wants to make big plays. We've seen that a couple times now in a couple games with Gonzaga where he lets that bounce, kind of take one of those fortuitous bounces where he can catch it on the run.
That's right.
And really get some momentum downfield, give your team some good field position.
And the ball bounced his way. He was able to get some speed, and with his sure hands, he was able to get the ball and turn it upfield.
Well, he took a 40-yard punt and now just cut it in half. It was only a 20-yard gain.
First down, Caleb Williams from shotgun, just on the St. John side of the 30-yard line. Caleb Williams back to pass, and he is going to put it in the air, and he's got a guy, and it's completion. Gonzaga ball, 45-yard line, 1st and 10. I'll tell you, he does.
I credit the Gonzaga offensive line there.
Max Pro,
great,
2 guys in the route.
This
is what they're doing. This is the game plan.
I mean, that was a 14, 15-yard out right there. That takes a while for that to develop.
Sweeney singled, bottom of the screen. Caleb's going to tuck it and run. And he's going to find some room. He's got about 3.5 yards.
He's got to run the ball more today than he has the entire season combined.
Now, this is a kid with a 96-yard touchdown run this season, so it's not like he doesn't run the ball. We just haven't noticed it, and he hasn't done it in recent weeks. Now, he had, I think, 2 rushing touchdowns against DeMatha in that triple overtime game, but that was more in scramble situations, making plays.
Yeah.
This is a designed game plan that they're trying to utilize him to control the clock, and he's doing a heck of a job.
There goes the patch. We got a flea flicker, and Marshall is deep.
He's got him.
And he's got the ball. What a play.
What a pass.
Gonzaga inside the 10 on the flea flicker. Great pass by Caleb Williams.
John Marshall only had a step.
That ball was on the money.
You know, I was going to tell you guys before the play started, the flag's hanging pretty limp. The wind is not as bad, at least right now, as it was in the first half. Real opportunity there, and here comes the run game. And he gets a couple.
Here we go. Red zone situations. Red zone situations for the last 2 weeks have been the Achilles heel for the Gonzaga Purple Eagles. I see them running the ball a couple times, but this is going to be put in Caleb's hands to make a play.
I do. I couldn't agree more. I said in the first half, I think they got to throw it in.
They also have the bruiser Sangwa in there right now.
Yep. Second and goal from the
how about the nose guard, Williams,
7.
as the up back.
Man, he's just been on the field all day.
They play him in
Here goes the fade to Marshall, and it is broken up, and we got a flag thrown. They're going to call penalty on the St. John's secondary.
Yeah, he had his hands inside, I think, a little bit too early. We get a replay of that and find out if this.
Now, it looks like they spotted the penalty outside of the end zone. We'll see what that means.
I'm an offensive guy, and it looked like they were both hand fighting. It looked like they both had a chance to go for the ball, and I think sometimes when it looks like a penalty.
He's got his
There it
hand
is.
right
And
up
keep
in
in mind,
him.
in high school, you don't have to turn around.
They were they were hand fighting. That could have gone either way.
Really could have. It could have been a no call too.
Gonzaga fans are fired up. That one guy looks really warm. He's got that Eagles mascot jersey on. I think he's probably the warmest guy here today. Caleb Williams in shotgun, and he's going to tuck it and run again. Now he's got some room, and that's a touchdown for Purple Eagles.
Nice vision by Caleb Williams there. I think he wanted to go right, and it closed up, and he just switched fields and found an alley and put on that speed and was able to get it over.
Let's send it down to the sidelines if we can. Joined by Carol Maloney once again after that touchdown by Caleb Williams.
Yeah, guys, a couple of big plays on that drive, starting off with Dean Ingram, and the number 6, the punt returner. He's number 2, wide receiver as well. Senior who's committed to Wisconsin. His dad, Bobby Ingram, I'm sure you know him. He's an assistant coach right now for the Ravens, but he played at Penn State. So there's some football in his blood. And also another big play, you saw the flea flicker with John Marshall. He's a dual sport athlete, basketball, football, but he's going to the Naval Academy to play football. So these are some big time players out here making some big time plays.
Yes, ma'am. 10-6, Gonzaga with the win. I'll tell you what, Carol knows a little something about dual sport athletes. I believe she played 6 sports.
Yeah.
I didn't even call that dual. I don't know what 6 is.
Dual the term for 6?
I don't know what, it's like dual times 3.
Triple dual.
Yeah, triple dual.
She got a triple dual.
She was
on
a triple dual threat, and also a collegiate basketball player. We take a lot of pride in multi-sport athletes. We talked about it before in these prep schools, these Catholic schools. St. John's and Gonzaga got a lot of boys. Obviously, some of the other schools, they got it in order to field teams. Got to play multiple sports.
She ran student government. She did the charity drive, and sometimes would say mass on Sundays with the.
Amen, sir. Amen.
Absolutely. She taught literature as well, I believe. AP literature. Gonzaga to kick off.
Great to have her with us, man.
Up 10-6, taking the lead in the third quarter. This is a big deal for St. John's. They got to answer here.
The body language couldn't be more opposite. They are celebrating on the sidelines in white and purple.
There comes number 20 with a lot of steam ahead of him, and they got another sure tackle.
Right on the 20.
20 on 20 at the 20.
Anything better than that.
All right, here we go. 4 minutes, 57 seconds and counting. St. John's takes over on offense.
I think you're right, Kevin. I think if you look at this Gonzaga team on that sidelines right now, they got a little pep in their step.
They feel good.
Yeah, they do. They got a lot of confidence in them right now.
And they should.
Yes.
And they should. They've been executing the game plan to a T. And, this St. John's offense needs to get going. They need to find a little groove. They need to get started here with something.
They need to build.
I think it's got to be Sol J's legs, personally.
Yeah.
I think he's got to run the ball.
I think you got to get the ball in Rakim's hands.
Well, that's true as well.
He's without a doubt the most dynamic player on the football field right now. And he just has not had enough touches. But I think Gonzaga knew that coming into this game. They've been bracketing him. Kevin, you talked about the 3-by-1 when they put him by himself on the other side. They've got a safety and a corner over him. So Miami just plays numbers, says my numbers are over here. I got to go to the right. And he's not being able to find anybody in rhythm.
Yeah, when this usually happens, against CBC this year, they doubled Rakim all over the field. Cam Ross had 4 first-half touchdowns. So, you're going to need someone else to step up here if that's the situation. Can you imagine 4 first-half touchdowns when we were playing back in the day? One guy had 4 in the first half. Hey, listen, he'd give up all 4 right now for 1. I promise you that.
The thing about the St. John's program, they play a national schedule. They've been playing big games since the season started. Not many teams in the entire nation have played the level of competition they have. If anyone's built to take one on the chin in the beginning of the third and come back, it's probably these cadets. Let's see what they got. Sol J's going to check back in. Again, I think he's got to adopt a little Caleb and maybe use his legs a little bit here on this drive.
Something vertical. They haven't had anything vertical all day.
That one pass where he stepped up.
All right, he's got 1 yard there. Hole closed up fast. He thought he saw it for a second, and then it collapsed.
Yeah, there's not a lot of. He's not comfortable in the pocket right now. He's not getting to his third step and feeling at ease, and he's had to escape a few times.
We calling Hunter Stewart's name there. I think he was part of that stop. Number 13 for for Gonzaga. Has had a very good season. Certainly looks good out there with his hand on the ground or standing up on the outside. Josh Williams.
Look at the communication in the Gonzaga defensive backfield. They're focused.
Second and long. Soj gets. Oh, we're gonna have a
delay a game.
The pace offensively is off. The pace, the rhythm. There's nothing smooth happening. Listen, one big play away from, one first down away from getting into it, but you know, it looks like St. John's is going the wrong way, and 10-6, and a little disheveled.
Like this all year long.
No, but I've seen them win many different ways, and I've seen them hang tough. But no, right now they absolutely are searching for something. Yeah. They're searching for someone to step up, that leader. I think number 9 is going to have to be the guy.
Second and long. Soldier gets the ball. He's looking to throw, and he's got someone behind him. And it's number 9 again for Gonzaga. The Johns family is having a good day today.
They move him around too. His last big play was in the interior. That one came off the edge.
I mean, we got a flag on the play. Is that true? I thought I might have seen a flag down. Maybe I don't. Nope. It's third and very long.
Looks like it'd be about third 24, 25. Not a lot of those plays in the playbook.
Not a lot of protection for the last couple plays.
Quick shot out to Rakim. He's got the ball and he's got some moving, but it's a tall order for him.
They were just trying to get a little bit of room.
That's
give
right.
The punter some room.
Little frustration from the cadets. They're going to send the punter out.
There's no doubt that they're getting outplayed, outworked, out-hustled right now, but this is no time. It's 10-6 with 3 minutes in the third quarter. Another huge ask of the St. John's defense and special teams for that matter. Dean Ingram back here is dying to catch one on the fly.
After a while, that clock's going to be a big factor. Just under 3 minutes in the third quarter.
The punt's away. We got a fair catch from Dean. And a flag comes in. We got, I see 2 flags on the field. It's probably going to be
thrown in the same direction.
Yep.
I have a feeling this might be on Gonzaga.
Hold on Mordecai.
Illegal block, something.
Ingram got the fair catch on their side of the 50. It looks like they're going to be moving back some, but we'll see. They got a little huddle. No referees have been injured yet in this half, which is a good thing. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Hey.
That reminded me of Wedding Crashers, like when they were playing football, and it was like, your brother's down again.
It's like, I think the
referee's down again. What's going on?
The referee's down again.
Listen, I slipped him a couple Terry McGann cards at halftime. Those guys will be just fine for all the injuries, situations that they need.
He's going to need McGann, Delpino, and Hughes. Speaking of, you see it on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, Beltway Cleaners, our good friend Pat Judge. We appreciate you. We appreciate the work that you do and the support for not just First Amendment sports, but high school basketball in this area. He is a well-known supporter of people from all over the conference. We appreciate you and we thank you.
And everyone watching over his place right now.
I just got a text. He just showed me the picture of the big screen TV that guy's hooked up on.
And not only is he one of our finest sponsors, but I think he picked up about 3 assists.
Well, we got this huddle and a little bit of confusion on the ground. Let's go down to Carol.
First, I want to tell you, I think most people who know me know that I'm a St. John's parent, right? So there may be some bias, but I do have a lot of love for Gonzaga, and I'm definitely going to show it now as I'm going to brave going into the stands. You talk about how the guys are getting outplayed there, the cadets. Well, they're getting out energized here in the stands. I'm coming up to you guys. Here we go. I'm sure you can't hear me anymore, but these guys have been bringing the energy all day, and they're about to tear the house down. So I just want to, what's up? We got the police, so I feel
you're going to need them, Carol.
Go Gonzaga Eagles.
We are the best team in the WCAC. No one has the spirit that we have. They hate us because they ain't us. Amen, damn it.
All right, there we go.
This is the energy from
the internet. It's fine.
Thank you, Carol Maloney. Thank you, Gonzaga Energy, Gonzaga fans. They are feeling good right now. They are up 10-6.
I thought she was going to go crowd surfing for a
What
minute.
just developed, it looks like a penalty was against St. John's.
Yeah, and they're going to make him punt it again. I did not see that coming. I for sure thought that it was going to be a hold on Mordecai. Here we go. We're going to get another punt out of St. John's. It's away clean again. A little bit of a better looking punt, but Ingram does not have to fair catch this, and he's elusive. He is elusive, and he's got running room. He's going to have to beat the punter, and he did. Gonzaga. I don't see a sign yet. Now it's a touchdown.
You saw the way Dean Ingram's been playing in this game at every position that he's played, whether it's wide receiver,
what a
doing
play.
jet sweep, trying to make catches at safety, making big plays, and then now in the special teams game, we were talking about it earlier about how he likes to try to make big plays. There is no bigger play than the one that he just made.
What a play.
I said it last week, and I said it today over and over again. The punt team for both sides was just very bad last week, both ways, and you were just anticipating something happening, and they make him re-kick it, and man, he made 3 sweet moves there, picked up a few blocks, and then the punter doesn't have a chance on a senior like that heading in there on the 10-yard line.
Again, an opportunity afforded to Gonzaga Eagles because of a penalty on the last play. Kick is up. It's good. 17-6. Gonzaga over St. John's. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm shocked.
Here we go again. We got Ingram back. Now, again, he has daylight right away, and then he just picks him apart. He puts a move on the punter. For a second, they thought he might have stepped out at the 2. They huddled over the goal line. Look at that score, 17-6. I don't think this is what people were expecting after what we saw last week, unless you were really watching in that third quarter. Look at this.
Thank God Carol got out of there just in time.
I know. Good goodness. I mean, it's cold to be popping those drinks all up and down.
Hey, she's a pro. She knew that she needed to do that in the third quarter, not the fourth when the shirts come off. You know, at that point in time.
Do you think I'm wondering if that's going to happen today.
Oh,
they'll do it.
I'm certain of it.
They'll do it.
All right. Well, it's 2.5 minutes to go. I bet you when the clock twinges, I bet you Pat Judge is going to be taking off that shirt when the fourth quarter starts around.
Hey, similar to halftime
Thank
last
God we
week.
don't have a camera at that house.
Similar to at halftime last week, when everyone that has followed this conference forever knew that Gonzaga wasn't going anywhere, down 27-3 at halftime. They got themselves back into the game. St. John's has that same capability. There's 2:32 left in the third. They have gotten nothing done offensively. But nothing's over. I anticipate this coming down to the wire to the last possession. But St. John's needs a big answer here.
Mordecai with the ball, galloping, and he gets met. A second straight tackle.
Gonzaga's playing a different brand of football right now. They're riding the wave, they're riding the momentum, and they're just playing. They're playing out of their minds right now. St. John's needs the answer. They're getting punched. Yeah, there you go.
Kai Holmes, second straight tackle. We got to call that guy's name out because he put a second straight tackle on Mordecai on the kickoff. You know, if you give him a couple steps, you know what he's going to do with the ball. The fact that they've been able to dampen his return game has been a factor.
Well, Gonzaga's had little successes. They keep building upon each success, and you can see it in their body language and their confidence after each time they make a play.
1st and 10, and that's going to be enough to call the flag. I don't know if we're going to get a false start here or not. I believe they are.
It's starting to get frustrating for St. John's, you can tell.
1st and 15. For St. John's, they are going backwards again, Kevin. 2.5 minutes to go in the third. They got to put something together.
I'm shocked that this offense is performing this way. I have never seen this all season long. You know, the moment is the moment taking over right now. We'll find out here. It's 1st and 15. Let's see if they can answer.
Not much room.
Gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
2nd and 10.
I don't even know if they got that tee.
Right.
It's going to be 2nd and 13 or so, and we got let's see, we got 4 wide receivers. Soljay is going to have to put this ball in the air at some point. We're going to have somebody come down with it and do something with it.
Once again, that 3-by-1.
And here we go.
Go to that other side, Kevin.
It's going to be 3rd and short, guys. I don't think we got enough for the first down, and I don't know if they're going to call this a completion or not. They should have. It looked like a catch to me. I don't know why they're saying no.
Something happening at the end there. Did he not possess it all the way to the ground?
No, it's a catch.
He got it.
He got it. We're going to call it 3rd and short. All right, St. John's needs a first down for confidence, first and foremost.
Huge play right here.
3rd and 3. Soul Jane shotgun, here comes the snap. It's a handoff inside. And it looks like
Mr. Dependable.
Ron Cook.
That's another guy, Kevin, that I think is a guy that this St. John's offense feeds off of. When they need him most, he's the guy that comes up with a play. Maybe he's somebody that start getting things going for this.
Haven't seen any screen be effective against these guys yet, but at some point in time, that's where I'd go. Soul J with the ball, and he's going deep. On the sidelines, the target looked like it was Rakim Jarrett. Ball was thrown out over his shoulder and out of bounds.
Once again, Jalen McMurray doing a great job covering one of the best, if not the best, wide receivers in this league.
Yeah, Rakim did not get past him. He was not open, so to speak. 2nd and 10. Minute to go in the 3rd quarter. St. John's down 17-6. Rakim's going to take a breather. Dean Ingram back in center field for the Eagles. And here's another deep one, or a good, and he just missed Cam Ross. Just missed Cam Ross coming across in a what was that? Just between the safety and the corner there, Kevin. He found a little pocket.
Yeah, he tried to dip it into the void right there. Just missed him by a yard or two. Like all day long, the rhythm has been off by a step. They've just they haven't gotten it together. They haven't. This offense that has run so smoothly, you got to give credit to the Gonzaga defense.
Yep.
You know, they're playing absolutely within themselves, and they're not allowing the big play, and they're not giving up anything inside.
Mordecai over by the St. John student section trying to get them loud.
3rd and long. Soul J back to pass, and he's going to be scrambling. He's going to have to move, and he's going down at the 20-yard line. Hunter Stewart leading the charge.
And a name we have not mentioned much today, Wette.
Joe Wette.
Joe Wette as well. Oklahoma commit.
St. John's back to punt after a big-time stop by the Gonzaga Eagles. Interestingly, though, they got Sweeney back, I think, to receive. I don't see Ingram this time around.
You know, they might be looking to send the punt block team in there, but I still don't get it. They smell blood in the water right here, though. You know, this is the time. You know, if it's going to be time for Gonzaga to step on St. John's neck, this is what they want to do.
A really good-looking punt. Taking Sweeney back, and they're going to bring him down to the 32, 33-yard line. St. John's coverage comes through on this time around. Gonzaga will take it over. Will be 1st and 10.
I wonder if maybe Ingram's a little dinged up. He was not in on that last play defensively, and he doesn't look like he's coming out right now on offense.
Here comes a steady dose. Caleb Williams tucking it in.
Yep.
Maybe Warfield, Zangwa.
Looks like we're going to get one play in before the end of the 3rd quarter.
You know,
man, I feel like my stomach is tied in a knot.
Hey,
I did not expect it to be this tight throughout. I don't know why. We should have. Here comes Caleb, and there you go. He's tucking it, and he has got room. He has got a lot of room. He has crossed midfield, and he gets out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. St. John's 45-yard line, that is. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter.
Just everything going Gonzaga's way right now. You know, even broken plays are working out in their favor.
No doubt about it. It feels right now like it's their day, T. It's you know, this is
3 quarters so far, it does.
This would not be a major upset, but this would be an upset. This
no, it would be a major upset.
Well, sure. I don't know. This is going to be a ridiculous victory if you are a fan of the purple. I tell you, it is awful quiet down here to the left, scarlet and gray. I think people are still, like you said, they're confused. Dazed and confused, wondering what is going on. What is going on?
Why don't we go down to the sidelines, pick up Carol Maloney before the 4th quarter gets started.
Hey, you guys, yeah, a lot of people were saying that the Gonzaga Eagles had little to no shot, but they did have a shot. Still, though, this is the 3rd-ranked team in the country, St. John's Cadets, and they're on a 16-game winning streak. They're 9-0 this season. They've won 16 in a row dating back to last year. Nobody really saw them trailing by 11 to start the fourth quarter. It is kind of insane what's going on, but when you think about it, it's not, because in WCAC football, basketball, the insane usually happens.
We said it before the game, Carol. Records get thrown out the window. This is still a rivalry game. We're now in the 8th quarter of a 2-week affair. Caleb Williams in shotgun, 1st and 10, just past midfield, and he's going to tuck it and run again. Why wouldn't he? And he's got some room. He leans forward to about the 44-yard line.
Hey, I think the reason why everyone's in shock is Joe Casamento in his 3rd year here at St. John's is 11-1 at home. Guys, the one loss to the present #1 team in the nation, St. John's Bosco. They came back from behind to beat St. John's 21-17 late in the 4th quarter when they inserted the #1 quarterback in the nation, pro style, DJ Uwagagagala. I did the best I could there, but the kid can play. The kid plays a lot better than I can say his name, I can promise you that.
2nd and 8, 2nd and 7. Caleb Williams in shotgun again. He's got 2 wide up to the top. Looks like Marshall and Sweeney. And he's going to tuck it and run again. And he's got it good for maybe another 3. Bringing up a 3rd down for the Gonzaga Purple Eagles.
Now, drivers can't get too conservative, though. I mean, we talk about it a lot. The St. John's team can strike at any moment, and they can strike quick. I think that he needs to continue moving these chains.
Yeah, if you cheat up,
just eating up some time.
If you cheat on Caleb, it could hurt you.
And he's been getting dealt the hot hand, and the hot hand is his defense. He's going to play to that strength right now. And I see no reason why Caleb wouldn't be running the ball on 1st and 2nd downs for the rest of the 4th quarter.
I got to believe, though, that Caleb's going to be putting this ball in the air.
Oh, there he goes. And it's he's going to have a chance at the 1st down. It looks like they're going to mark him short.
No, it is. About a yard short.
The far referee. The far referee is going to call it a 1st down. Caleb Williams.
Big 3rd down conversion.
We are directly right here, gentlemen, and the near side referee and the far side referee were about 3 yards apart.
Yes, they were
on that spot.
Yes, they were.
That was.
Well, it looks like Caleb had his surge there.
To the referee on the other side of the field, he did run it to the left. He did run it to that side.
And these refs have taken a few hits on the chin today.
They've had a rough day.
Right in it. Caleb Williams has. I wish we had the stat yards after contact, because he is getting contacted. That is for sure, and he's been moving forward every time. 1st and 10, Gonzaga just outside the 35.
Play clock.
I got either a delay a game or a false start.
Delay a game.
Well,
you guys want to bet $1 on what happens on the next play? I mean, it's the formula. It's the formula.
They're milking the clock.
You know, Gonzaga's made one mistake on offense all day. That was having the ball stripped out for the 6th. And that's why the score is right now 17-6. They've been pretty conservative, pretty good with protecting this ball.
1st and long with the clock stopped. Just under 10 minutes to go in the game. Gonzaga with the 17-6 lead. It's an inside handoff, and he's got space. And he's moving forward. Was that Terry?
Malcolm Terry.
Terry with the carry. We got 3rd.
I mean, the St. John's defense has been on the field, it feels like 90% of the day. I mean, it's, you know, I think they're playing fantastic. They're looking for a little help here. St. John's trying to put something together. I mean, you can't ask Quentin Johnson to do much more.
2nd and 5. Caleb back for the snap. Inside handoff again to Terry, and he's got room. He's outside, and looks like he's going to have enough again for another Gonzaga 1st down. Called the 25-yard line. Gonzaga driving. They get into field goal range here, T. I don't think there might be. They're almost out of 2-down territory come 3rd downs inside this part of the field with Coach Trivers.
Yeah, they got a good kicker. They could just pad this lead a little bit.
1st and 10.
2-score game right now.
Why don't we take this opportunity to say thank you to our friend James Madden and his company. You'll see their logos for the next couple weeks. The Maddens are strong supporters of the WCAC. Number 76, we've already brought up his name. They're proud of him today. Right tackle as Terry gets the carry.
Oh yeah, Patrick Madden's been doing a great job.
He sure has. Well,
been lined up against Morris Brash a lot of the day. There was that one big play Morris Brash had early on in the game, but hasn't been able to make any of those plays here recently.
Hey, we're going to see how aggressive Gonzaga gets here. 2 defensive backs brought out, 2 beefy linemen put in. You got a run-stopping package in the game. Now look, you see Sam Sweeney and John Marshall out here to the near side. This is going to be one-on-one coverage.
You got to cover the corner, the back corner of this end zone if you're St. John's, because Caleb Williams can bring the rain in the back corner of that end zone.
Might be time to pull it here and let one fly.
And he tucks it and runs. Looks like
smart play.
It's going to be short. It's going to be 3rd and short.
They had you full too, Kevin. I mean, you bring John Marshall and Sweeney out here. It's a one-on-one package. Caleb Williams just does a great job of securing that ball.
I just thought it might be time to maybe try and put a nail in the coffin here.
And we do have a shirt check, and the Gonzaga fans are living up to their reputation. It is cold out here, and I just looked over and got colder. But good for them. 7.5 minutes to go, 3rd and short. It's a big play for the Cadet defense. And it's an inside handoff to Terry, and he is stopped close to the line of scrimmage. I'm gonna guess and say he didn't get it.
No.
And they're gonna let this clock run. Coach Trivers is looking like he's keeping the offense on the field. And they are gonna put a package in.
This is very aggressive right here.
I mean, tick-tock. Yeah. You know, why not keep it going?
But making it a true two-score game by putting 3 on the board right now, it's leaving an opportunity for St. John's to make a stop.
Caleb did get him on his cadence earlier today. There's the snap, and here goes Caleb, and he is met. I don't think he got it on 4th and short.
This is going to be real close.
We got a bad angle here, but I'm going to say we're turning this over on downs. What a stop for the Cadet defense. Now they got 6.5 minutes to work here, Kevin. They're going to have to move with a little bit more urgency than they have so far this game.
They need...
Mark this spot in the game, gentlemen. Mark this spot in the game. That could have been a huge decision by Trivers to go for it there.
St. John's has been shut out offensively all day long. You know, you're asking a lot right here. 6 minutes and 28 seconds. You got 3 timeouts. You know, things are going to have to change drastically. The way this defense has been playing, they've been playing great contain.
What's the play that shakes them loose here? They haven't been able to get upfield.
They haven't had much time to throw the ball, Ken. So you know, no matter what happens, if you don't execute in the pass protection game, then it doesn't matter what play you call. They're going to lead someone to buy Soul J some time.
We saw Coach Pat Ward drawing it up right here in front of us. Let's see if they went to school.
Empty set.
Quentin Johnson with the reception. He's got a little bit of wiggle. He's going to get it to 1st down for St. John's. We're going to call the ball about the 31-yard line. St. John's is going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Why not get the ball to the best guy wearing scarlet and gray on the field today?
Yep.
He's the hot guy. He's the one that's been making.
And the wind is blowing again. The wind is blowing again. Empty set again. 1st and 10. 30-yard line. Here comes Soul J. 3-step. And that ball sails on him. He wanted.
Oh, and he's on his back. That's why.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He took a big hit. Joshua Williams in the backfield. Got to regroup. You're going to go empty. You know, you're going to take a couple of those. If you can hang in there and stick one, it could be a big play. Gonzaga sticking with their base 4-2-5. You know, they've stuck with it for 2 weeks. It's just execution at this point.
Here comes the call.
You gotta hurry up.
Yeah, the play clock is not visible on the field
I can't
today.
see it either, yeah.
It's usually right here in the end zone on the right. Obviously, the referees have it in the backfield.
And here comes Soul J's going to try to run. He makes a move, and he's going to get out of bounds, a gainer of about 4.5 yards. That's going to be 3rd down. At what point are they in 4-down? I mean, are they 4 downs?
All day. It's over. No more punt
day.
team. It's done.
That's right.
I mean,
they got to get 6, and they got 2 plays to get it. Rick Kim in the slot. Cam and Coombs out far right. Ron Cook motioning into the backfield. A little protection. Here goes the screen to Ron Cook, and he can't get it. Just out of his reach.
You called for it, Ken.
Yeah, they set it up. It didn't look like. What's this referee calling?
Well, somebody definitely stayed home for Gonzaga to make that pass nearly impossible.
We got a timeout by St. John's. Okay, that's what it is.
I don't think you can afford to give the ball back at this point. The way Gonzaga has been just bleeding that clock down.
Yep.
You know, high school football, it seems to move a little faster this last 6 minutes.
You're right. Only 6 minutes left. 6 minutes, 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's due time right now. It's go time for St. John's offensively. They got to go for it here on fourth down. They've got to move the chains. Gonzaga can easily milk about 3 minutes off that clock.
And unfortunately, there's some news that we share together as in the rivalry. Father Joseph Kleinstuber, Father K to all of us that loved him. A Gonzaga graduate, stalwart at St. John's for 25 years as the St. John's chaplain. The man was the golf coach. The wrestling room here at St. John's was named after him. Father K had a tremendous ability and talent to connect with all the kids. He said about a 25-minute mass, guys, and I can hear Father K in my ear right now saying, move on, let the game go. A huge lover of sports, a fantastic man. Rest in peace, Father K. We're all going to miss you.
Yeah, Father K, synonymous with St. John's. Just had so much influence on so many young men's lives, young people's lives.
Big fourth down, empty backfield. Soldier looking to get a snap. Cadets got to get it first to keep their chances alive. The ball's in the air, and that ball is brought down and caught. Is that Ron Cook?
It is.
That's Ron Cook.
Ron Cook with the catch. Let's take it down. Let's take it down to Carol Maloney. Real fast. Carol, what do you got for us?
I've just been watching Rakim Jarrett today because he hasn't been involved that much, and Soldier's been looking his way. You just saw a completion to Ron Cook, but Kim definitely wants to get involved. He's one of the best offensive weapons they've had, and he's been really quiet. Gonzaga's done a great job shutting him down. And just a little known fact about Kim, you'll hear a lot more about him later. He's a junior this year, but he's already got 28 offers from big-time programs, from Alabama, Auburn, and all the way down. So if they can't get Kim involved, it definitely hurts their offense.
That time it was like Caleb Coombs, I believe, who's been a good outlet for him before, but Carroll's absolutely right. They've got to get the ball to number 5.
Well, the last 2 throws, we have seen Soldier step in and let it rip.
Yep.
There's no more hesitation, and I think he's found a little bit here, so.
Ron Cook with a short gain. It's going to be third and short.
Don't think he got there. But the protection has been better all of a sudden. You see Soldier step into that fourth down throw to Ron, and then you come out to the right side and followed up with another dart bullet. This looks more like number 9 than he's looked all day.
Yeah, they may be catching that rhythm that we've been talking about that they've been missing all day.
Dean Ingram back on the field, center field, if you were worried about that before. Looks like Ron Cook's going to get enough for a first down and then some. Got the ball to the 44-yard line. St. John's is driving. 4:45 to go in the game.
This is the more comfortable pace that St. John's has played with all season. They're starting to get a little bit going. 4:46 left. You better start to get a little bit going.
Yeah, you're going to want to get that score here sooner rather than later. Here comes Soldier on 1st and 10. That ball is again, okay, that's the play they wanted. Mordecai with a skinny post, skinny slant, something up the seam there, Kevin. He was open. The ball sailed just a little bit. But that's a good play. That's a good-looking play.
Yeah, I think he threw it a tad early. He saw him open early. He threw it a tad early. That wasn't thrown exactly on time. Look for them coming back to that, whether it's this series or if there's a next.
2nd and 10. 5 wide receivers for the Cadets. Looking to protect Soldier so he can find one of them. And now he's going to run. He's got to draw, and he's going to get upfield. He's got some room in it. He's moving himself. They tried to pull a Quentin Johnson on him, and he was able to hold on to the ball. I got him getting their first down there.
Absolutely.
He's tough as nails. He's not a quitter. He runs hard, and he does not want to lose.
He did not run like a quarterback there. He ran like a big back.
St. John's approaching the line quickly as they set the ball. Clock is running. We are at 4:23 to go in the game. Soldier, once again, looking at 5 wide receivers. Quick out to Ron Cook. Ron Cook's going to get upfield and get out of bounds. going to be second and short. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts at FirstAmendmentSports.com to Alan Volk and Andrew Vines, two men who have been instrumental in us being able to get our platform up and give us a chance to reach all the people that we love and who love this conference.
Thank you guys very much, and a quick shout out to Aaron Jeffers Frazier. Thank you for your fantastic artistic ability and everything you've done for us as well. But yeah, Andrew and Alan, well done, guys.
Gonzaga timeout here, guys. I believe that's what I just heard the announcer say. 17-6, 4:10 to go. We got a timeout here. A little bit of a break in the action. Man, those Gonzaga kids look freezing. There is nothing but shade on that side of the stands. I'm cold watching them.
Usually it's well above 90% shirt off. We're at about a 60-40 clip.
Yeah,
from what I'm noticing.
They're not all dedicated.
No, but I know wherever James Madden is, that shirt is off, and God, I'm sure it's a glorious sight.
Terrible sight to see.
But once again,
definitely appreciate the support of the Madden Inc.
Madden Inc. in the house.
Today's game.
We got some other people that have been supporting us, and we're gonna. Your boy Chad.
That's right, Chad Barnett. He's gonna be a part of the productions next week. DeMatha grad, great friend of mine. Had an unfortunate story back in his freshman year at DeMatha. Found out he had cancer in his shoulder. Had to have his shoulder replaced. But always kept a great spirit. Has been a great friend and a supporter of us going forward.
Appreciate you, Chad.
First down, St. John's knocking on the door, down 17-6. Soljay with a snap. Three-step drop. He's going to let it go into the end zone, and we got ourselves a touchdown by St. John's. I believe that's Rakim finally making a mark on this game.
He knew he was.
4 minutes and 6 seconds, and it's a one-score game. Let's go down to Carol Maloney. Carol?
Yeah, Soljay, his 23rd touchdown pass of the season. You knew he was going to have to get the offense involved through the air to make up some of the points. Now they're down 5 with 4 minutes to go in the game. And the entire season, the year, this undefeated ride they've had, the national ranking that they've carried in the top 5 all year, that's all on the line right now. So a lot of pressure, but he certainly didn't show it there.
They're going to go for 2 here.
They're going to go for 2 here, guys.
Make it just a field goal away.
I'm going to tell you, we said it last week, Gonzaga comes up in this man look and plays a press coverage. Look for St. John's to go to the option that was defended properly last time they ran it against them.
Another three-step and a quick ball. And that's going to be a conversion. I want to say Quentin Johnson. And I got a flag. It could be a little bit of business after the play. I'm not sure who's it's going to be on. There was a St. John's and a Gonzaga player, Dean Ingram, and potentially Rakim Jarrett mixing it up after the play was over.
This is a huge, huge, huge penalty. A huge penalty.
It'll be interesting to see who they call it on and how it impacts the kickoff.
The refs are talking about it.
We're about to get a call. This is the one. This is what we don't expect penalties and mistakes like this, but it happens in rivalry games. Personal foul.
Against St. John's.
It's on St. John's.
That's a killer. It's a killer with 4 minutes left. You had the ability to possibly think about onside kicking. Now you got to kick it off. Instead of getting the ball at the 20-25, you're looking at around the 40-yard line for Gonzaga. Either way, you need to stop badly. Soljay looked completely different throwing the ball on that drive, guys. It's coming off the hand. He's stepping into it with confidence.
Yeah.
We're looking at the scoreboard. You got 4 minutes, 6 seconds, 3-point ball game. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. St. John's, very easily could kick this ball down deep. They get a stop. Use those 2 timeouts to preserve time on the clock, but getting that stop, Kevin and Ken, Hart, is going to be the toughest thing, because they have not been able to do that very easily today.
Here's what we've seen. We've seen Caleb with the ball in hand. They're going to put the ball in Caleb's hands. He's taken a few hits. It's been a long day. On the St. John's perspective, you're looking to get that ball the same way Quentin got it. From the Gonzaga perspective, tick-tock, let that thing run. We'll see how aggressive Randy Trivers decides to be here with 4 minutes and 6 seconds on the clock.
It'll be very interesting to see how aggressive he gets. This is a long way to kick it in high school from the 25. It's going to be fielded at about the 22-yard line. Engram with it, and he's got room. This time they will bring him down. Gonzaga takes over at the 45-yard line with 4 minutes to go in the game, up by 3. Coach Trivers and the Gonzaga program, they want to get something done here, guys.
Ball security, ball security. A lot of seniors on this team. Lucas Warfield has been there. Loic Sangwa has been there. You put the ball in your QB's hand all day long and followed this recipe to get yourself a 3-point lead with 4 minutes to go. Can they finish it?
Well, we appreciate everyone joining us today. This game has been everything we hoped it would be. 1st and 10, Gonzaga with the ball. Warfield out to the right, and he's going to. I'll be interested to see why that wasn't a hold. I thought I saw some jersey grabbing.
If there's no flag, then something happened. We all saw it.
I thought that was a hold, but maybe the flag is on the ground.
Yeah,
okay, they did call it.
Listen.
The flag was blocked from us. There's the hold right there. You can see a little bit of a red jersey in the hands.
The stadium called the hold themselves.
Yeah.
You hear it all around us.
Yeah, when we didn't see the flag, we thought to ourselves, what's going on here? It's good news for the St. John's defense, but listen, we saw Caleb Williams already convert on 4th and long. We saw him already get yards that he never had any business getting, and now he's got about 20 plus yards in front of him that he's going to try to get it the same way. Coach Trivers going to have to come up with something. Clock running, 3:45. Gonzaga lead is 3. Caleb approaches the line of scrimmage. He's under center.
The clock runs on a holding call. Interesting.
Yeah. Caleb Williams tucking the ball. I think he was able to get out of bounds.
Out of bounds. That is not at all what Gonzaga wanted.
3:27. It's going to be 2nd and long, and the clock stops, saving St. John's their timeouts. Interesting to see how they're going to about to deploy those timeouts. I'm showing it 23 yards to go, guys. On the maybe 22.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked about that.
Okay, here we go. 3 wide receivers to Caleb's left. Checking with the Gonzaga sidelines. Mordecai for St. John's is planted at the 46-yard line, and he is looking for the ball to go in the air, and it's not going to go. It gets tucked. Caleb Williams tucks and runs. Makes a lot of sense. Ball's going to be spotted at about the 35, called the 36-yard line. 3rd and long.
Well, they're going to be content just doing that again, Kevin, you think?
It looks like it, T. It looks like it.
They're just rely on their defense to stop
as the closer. They're going to use the defense as the closer. I don't
and they're
see
going to
them
save
doing
their
anything
timeouts
right now.
for offense. Although no, they just did call the timeout. A couple seconds did run off the clock, and it looks like the coaches are maybe talking to the referee. I don't know if they're going to reset the clock or not, but that timeout came after a few seconds ran.
I mean, 3rd and 20 right now. I think you just saw Caleb tuck it away. I don't see anything else happening. They're going to try and get them to get rid of all their timeouts, punt the ball, and play the defense that's gotten them there all day long.
All of the people in the stands are excited at this moment in time. A second ago, it was a little one-sided. There's energy from our left and right, red and purple. There they are. Got something to cheer about. 3rd and long for their defense.
Hey, I got to tell you guys, I got something to cheer about. I've had a great time doing this game with you guys today. Can you believe we're getting something like this? This is exactly what we dreamed about. This is what we wanted. It's coming down to the last possession.
Yeah, I got to think. It's either going to be one of two things. They're going to go with the same formula, keep it in Caleb Williams' hands, just make sure they protect that ball, or they could go with a screen here. It's a safe play if you can get it connected, and it's got a possibility of picking up the 1st down. But
here we go.
Outside of those two, it's going to be conservative.
St. John's showing 2 deep.
Oh,
Caleb
wow.
in shotgun.
He's back to throw.
He is looking to crank that ball, and he is down. He's going down at the 25-yard line. St. John's did not get the turnover. That's not a ball that was loose, everybody. It looks like Traymon's holding up a hand warmer.
Caleb
not
Williams,
a ball. Caleb Williams goes down. It's going to be 4th and long. This is definitely a fun situation for the Purple Eagles. Shout out quickly to the Knights of Columbus up in the Rock Creek Council watching this live from the hall downstairs. Monsignor Charles Gormley leading the charge. Mike Horan. Not sure who's behind the bar back there, but we got a lot of buddies from all sides of this game and pretty much all sides of the league sitting down in that council, enjoying this event. Probably a little warmer than us. Hey, gentlemen, keep your shirts on.
And save a seat for us.
Yeah, exactly.
We're only about 2 hours out.
St. John's is going to get this ball back, guys. I can tell you, 10 minutes ago, I didn't know what I was feeling. I'm the Bishop McNamara guy. T's the DeMatha guy. We got a Scarlet and Gray guy here, T, who had reason to be a little bit tight. I like all of a sudden felt like I'm going to both schools.
But you know what? When Carol did her spot for the fourth quarter, the beginning of the fourth, the calmness that she delivered those remarks about the way that the St. John's team, and especially guys like Rakim, have been in these situations and made big plays. You know, there is some sort of feeling that St. John's is going to have a very good shot of at least tying this game.
And look who's back returning this punt. You want to punt it away from number 3, Ron Cook. I can promise you that.
Ron Cook looking to do his best Dean Ingram impression. The ball is away. It's a returnable punt, fielded cleanly by Ron Cook. He's at the 45. This tackle by Gonzaga, he's going to get to the 50-yard line. We got 2 minutes, 48 seconds to go, guys. St. John's down by 3, taking over on offense.
And only 51 yards to go to pay dirt, or at least maybe 35 to have a shot at tying this game.
Oh, you know they're thinking about 6 here, guys. You know they're thinking about 6.
Hey. This is the stuff that legends are made of. We will talk about this game for decades after this. Of course we will. It's our first run at it. But the Maeva family sitting out there, all the Gonzaga guys that were in control of this game, a majority of the afternoon are sitting here going, we got to do it one more time.
Every one of these kids dreamed of being in this situation at some point in time.
Soljay, 5 wide receivers, back in shotgun. St. John's taking the ball at midfield. He's got time. The ball is in the air, and that's a takedown, boys and girls. And here comes the flag, Kim Jarrett.
And you know what? Gonzaga's lucky they got called for that, because otherwise, if he did not make that bump, that would have been a touchdown.
It was going to be. T, you're absolutely correct.
Kai Holmes, who has been a very, very sound player for Gonzaga all day, he may have made a professional penalty there. You see those kinds of penalties made in soccer all the time, World Cup level. Sometimes you just gotta bring a guy down and prevent the touchdown.
The Rakim factor is always present.
That was a one-on-one situation right there. It was going to be a skinny post. He was going to make that break, and he was going to have nothing.
And you can see they're coming to Kai's side. Dean Ingram has got the wide side of the field. They've got 2 back, covering this 5 wide receiver set by St. John's. Soljay with 3 steps. He's going outside, and he's got a Caleb Coombs, once again, who's been a very, very reliable target from the beginning of this game all the way up until deep in the fourth quarter.
This sophomore has a very bright future. We have seen just a complete change in how the ball is coming off of Soljay's hands. Wow, 2:37 left. This no-back set has really given St. John's the edge here since they've gone to it. They've been able to protect in it, and they've got 5 guys, and that's 5 athletes in space to deal with.
I'm looking for a draw here, a quarterback draw or inside handoff. And there's Ron Cook. First down, St. John's. It's going to be, call it the 22-23, 2.5 minutes to go. They're going to stop the clock to set the ball, and that clock will begin running again. You guys, this takes me all the way back to this very same field. We were freshmen in high school, freshmen and sophomores. McNamara, DeMatha, Cadillac left.
That's right.
Here we go again. Big time WCAC football with all of it on the line. Soljay looking to the left. He's got a target, and he's got a Cam Ross at the 10-yard line.
Great catch going up high, getting hit midsection. As he's coming down and he's able to hold on to it.
Is that
the senior UConn commit? He would like to play for 1 more week in the Scarlet and Gray.
Gonzaga's out of timeouts? Or is St. John's out of timeouts?
Gonzaga has 2. St. John's is out. They had to use the last 2.
Okay, I thought for some reason they called it the other way. Here goes Soljay. First down. There's the run game. They're going to get inside the 10. They're going to get some forward progress. And look at
down to the 5.
Coach Pat Ward is so proud of his boys right now. I saw him drawn up on the whiteboard, down 17-6. He took his boys to school. They've been giving Soljay plenty of time to throw, and he's been stepping up into those throws.
It's like he said, hey, Coach Cass, we got something here and no back. My guys are ready to go. They're going to have to spread us out, man on man. We've been here. We've done this. That's what we do all offseason.
Ron Cook in the backfield.
They still have a chance to get a first down as well. They don't have to get it
I'm still looking for a draw here, T. Not that Gonzaga's giving it to him.
All the way.
All right, here we go. A stuff in the middle. They're not going to. Did they really call that a fumble? Gonzaga's taking it back. What a turn of events.
There's no way.
They're not going to catch him. They are not going to catch him. We are looking for a signal from a referee. The referee with the white hat is signaling touchdown. We got a referee back at the original line of scrimmage. All signs right now point to a Gonzaga Eagles late touchdown. St. John Cadets fans are stunned.
We're not sure exactly.
We're still waiting to have them put it together.
There was one referee still down by the goal line. He's going to talk to the head referee right now.
Now they could call forward progress stop. They could call a knee down, or they could call a fumble.
This call is going to be discussed.
Here's the replay, guys. Love that we got it. Here, there goes the handoff. He's inside.
Right away.
There's your boy Sean Johns.
His forward momentum stopped there.
He was down.
Okay. Now I don't.
Then the ball squirts out. We can't see when the score. I can't see when the ball squirted out. He was on his back.
Yep. Now you would say that his forward progress was stopped, and then we're going to get a little bit of a rollback here. Sean.
It stands as a touchdown.
They are calling it a fumble.
Oh my Lord.
St. John's has given up a touchdown with 56 seconds left to go in a 3-point game. And the Gonzaga fans are beginning the celebration.
Unreal.
Wow.
Knocking on the door, and if Gonzaga does to St. John's, that's what St. John's has done to them twice in 2 weeks. Strip the ball at the very end on the goal line. Was able to pick it up, seal the win.
I'm stunned. I can't imagine. Listen, I want to know what this ref jogged all the way down to say. Why would that hold things up? He jogged all the way down to have a conversation.
They basically said, "Are you sure? Are you sure?"
They all kind of looked at each other with their palms up.
Yep.
You know, this call is going to be talked about for eternity. We're going to have to take another look at it if we can. From this angle, it's different. There's going to be a sideline angle. There's going to be an end zone angle. We're going to see this play replayed all over social media. It went Gonzaga's way. If you're in purple right now, you're feeling fantastic. This is
it's an incredible turn of events. Sweeney to hold. Gonzaga looking for an extra point. The Gonzaga fans are already texting their friends from DeMatha. I can see it from my right. The St. John's side of the stands are still in shock. The players are in shock. That's just a huge play. Kara Maloney, what did you... Oh, I thought we saw Carol. That's okay. We'll go to her in another 56 seconds. Here comes the try. It's so final in high school, guys.
I mean,
it's up. It's good. 24-14, 10-point game with a minute to go. Here comes the flag. A little business after the snap.
I'm floored. All I know is we see Ron Cook on his back. A split second later, you see the ball scooped.
Yeah.
The whistle was not blown.
No, it was not.
From what we can hear, I cannot wait to see.
You can't buy this. You can't buy this, and it's priceless. It is priceless. These players, these coaches, this institution, this school, love, faith, priceless, priceless. It is stronger than anything, stronger than anything. And 8 quarters, we said it 2 weeks ago. We would play for 8 quarters, and that's what it is. 8 quarters, and at the end of it, we're standing tall, and these kids deserve it. These coaches, this athletic director, get over here, Joe Rada. Huh? Get over here.
There's Joe Rada.
Joe Rada, the AD of Gonzaga, hugging it out with his head coach. I do have a question.
Get over here.
Let him
Get
have
over here, baby.
Okay, one question more for me. I mean, because not many people thought you had a chance to take this team down, that they were a train on a track team.
Let me tell you something. That is a life lesson. A life lesson. You believe here and you expect to do great things because you have sacrificed. And that's what our program has done. We have sacrificed. These men have worked. These coaches, these players, we don't listen. We don't care about what's in the newspaper. We don't care about what's on the internet. We don't care. Those people don't know how we live, how we run, how we train, how we practice, how we meet, how we prepare. Only we know that, baby. Only we know
I'm ready. I'm ready. You got me ready. Let's go.
You darn right. You darn right.
Thank you. Good. Coach Randy Travers, Gonzaga head coach, celebrating tonight with his team, community, and his family, and I made it out safe. I want to say thanks to Ken Marangolis, who really saved me. I don't know if you noticed, my second half performance was better because I was wearing this really heavy coat. I was not expecting it to be so cold. We will see you next week, right, guys? DeMatha, Gonzaga, a week from tomorrow.
DeMatha, Gonzaga at 6. We got Riken and O'Connell at 1. Catholic University, a day of championships. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangola. This is Kevin Ricca. He's Tim Strachan. She's Carol Maloney from St. John's Field, home of the upset. Gonzaga over St. John's, guys. We'll be talking about it on Tuesday night from the basement, and we'll be talking about it for quite some time.
Tune in.
Join us on Tuesday night.
Thank you for checking us out today. We had a blast doing this, bringing it to you. Ken, thank you for bringing us together and making this day happen. We've all enjoyed the heck out of it, my man. Looking forward to doing it again next week.
Thanks to all our sponsors, all our partners, all our friends. Everybody's made this possible.
This is Ken Marangola once again saying, ain't it great, the WCAC. We'll see you next Sunday.